Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Easy Allies Community Showcase. You can't see me, can you, Brad?
I can see you.
You can see me? Can you see me through?
Yeah.
You can see me through Discord, or how are you?
Yeah. Well, through
Oh,
your
you see me
your
through.
XSplit.
Yeah, you see me through XSplit. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we figured out the Discord solution because we had a little bit of fuzziness whenever I would go full media. Don't know. I got my headphones on now. I'm not going to need those for a little bit. Oh no, I need those to hear.
Yeah, need those.
Brad. Need those to hear Brad. Don't need them when we're in the studio.
True.
But when we used, welcome to the Community Showcase, everybody. December 2020. When we used, what's it called? Zoom, it would shrink the camera so much that it would make us look like we were on a very small television or in a Super Nintendo game. And so now, hopefully, Brad can hear all of the wonderful, music. Got another chapter from RF Switch to deliver, and got a lot of fun videos. A lot of stuff, a lot of loud levels, Brad. I hope you're ready for some powerful music. But
let's do it.
What this is, if you were just tuning in now or you were watching the archive, this is the Community Showcase from Easy Allies, specifically from our community, the $10 and above tier on patreon.com/easyallies. At the end of the month, I put up a post asking for submissions, and our lovely community submits stuff. Shout out to Alexander Zirianov, who reminded me to do it this month, because this is the 7th. It is a week into this month, but we got to get that up in case people actually that submitted during the month of November that want to get their stuff done for the showcase in December. But we have all sorts of stuff for you today. We have comments. There's no photographs. We got a lot of really good screenshots, a lot of varied screenshots, some screenshots from games. I'm curious, Brad, if you recognize, because I did not. It's interesting to see if people in chat can call out stuff. Got some wonderful music from our musicians in the community. And got some fun videos to wrap everything up. But we got a lot of comments. We actually, I'm one of the comments I tossed to Brad. You have that one ready?
Yes,
you ready for that one when it comes up?
Yes.
I'm going to read some stuff before we get to that, but cheers everybody at our $10 and above tier. Cheers everybody that is joining us for the stream. This will take a good 3+ hours to get through all this stuff, but it is all really good. A lot of people have had a very difficult year. A lot of people had a difficult month in November, and so it is a unique honor to be here and to help you get through these things, to help other people, to help connect people in our community, hopefully entertain you in the process. Not to be outdone in the first slot on the Q&A or the showcase, Alexander Zirianov kicking it off today. Hello, Brandon and Brad. I wish I could make my submission about anything else, but I must talk about how bad Sony treats its loyal fan base in my region. It's not like this is in your territory, good for you, but here it's beyond being just frustrating. I like PlayStation, and several exclusives are coming to my favorite games. Several exclusives are among my favorite games. PS3 was the first console I bought, and PS4 was my console of choice in 2013. However, the years, PS4 became less and less appealing due to one extremely important thing: game prices. During last gen, Microsoft, EA, and Ubisoft introduced subscription services that allow you to play brand new games for a very reasonable price. What was Sony's response? They raised game prices 4 times during the PS4 era. Other companies and platforms raised prices too, but no one charged as much as Sony, even if it's a PlayStation exclusive. For example, at launch, Ghost of Tsushima cost 28% more than Persona 5 Royal. My problem with prices is not about money, it's about expectations. Since only Sony's games cost that much, I expect way more from them, which is a sure way to be disappointed even in a 10 out of 10 game. I played The Last of Us Part 2 at launch to avoid spoilers, and I've spent a lot of mental energy to push away pricing thoughts and enjoy the game for what it is. I've succeeded, but it was very taxing for my brain, and I don't want to ever do this again. Another huge problem with Sony is how random their actions are. Remember, I've said that Ghost of Tsushima cost 28% more than Persona 5 Royal. Now it's 42%, because in October, Sony raised Ghost's price. But only Ghost became more expensive. Last of Us Part 2's price wasn't changed. And let me talk about PS5 pre-orders. The console wasn't sold out for a month, so it's a long story. At first, you had to buy pre-order coupons to order the console. Several days later, this system was completely discarded. After pre-orders have started, Sony introduced a small discount for selected stores, then changed the list of stores, then canceled this program before it was supposed to end. And nothing is ever explained or even announced. It just happens. And if you're lucky, it doesn't affect you in a negative way. All of this makes me feel like I'm treated like a mindless fanboy who will go through any hardships to play PlayStation games. And I really, really don't like when I'm treated like I'm mindless. So I'm still thinking about what to do with my PS5. I wasn't planning to spend $600 on a new PlayStation, but I got scared that Sony will raise its price too. I'll probably do trade-in for the first-party titles since playing games, but not giving money to Sony seems the most satisfying. Hopefully, Sony will change its approach in the future, and our relationships will be able to go back from abuse to mutual love. I know Alexander Zirianov is in Russia. I'm not sure which region specifically Zirianov is in, but that sucks.
So let me get this straight. They came out the price, then they raised it more later on?
Not for Last of Us Part 2, I guess just for Tsushima.
What the
Yeah, just...
That's insane.
That's like the opposite of what happens in the
US.
US.
Yeah, that
like
is the opposite.
We'll get sales and stuff. Again, that's just why you got to follow Wario64. He'll let you know when you can get, something.
Dude, yeah. I mean, I don't blame you. Yeah. I'd be furious if I had to deal with that. I think everyone here would be.
That is extremely frustrating. And it's the kind of thing when I first read this comment, I was like, I know people at Sony, but I bet if I ask them, they're like, oh, internationally, I don't handle that stuff. I don't deal with that department. I don't know how that stuff is handled. Obviously, Sony is responsible for these things, but I'm curious what department specifically, what the mindset is. Because you said like it's not, they don't explain it.
Damn.
Very, very strange. And I invite a lot of people to weigh in on, how much those games, how much those exclusives cost in your region.
Jeez.
Speaking of Sony exclusives, from Juan Roland Jr. Hello, hola, Brad E. Jones. I want to start off by thanking you both for taking the time to do the spoiler mode for Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. It was an unexpected surprise, and honestly, an amount of love for the game gets sends me over the moon. I've been playing and loving games since before the 90s, but I never thought about diversity in video games as a kid. I was always focused on levels, characters, cool animations, things of that nature. Seeing people of color in video games, or even focusing on the various cultures, wasn't that big of a thing that I was accustomed to seeing, at least not close to anyone like me. I was born and raised in New York City and went to high school in Harlem, so I was accustomed to seeing folks who look similar to me, but I also looked at video games the same way, accustomed to seeing the same type of characters. I remember playing Guacamelee 1 and 2 and thought about how amazing they were in every aspect. While I knew the games were centered around Mexican culture, it was great to see the layout of the world, the colors, the music, and even some of the play on words. As someone who grew up hating how common his name was, it was refreshing to finally have the hero of the story share that name. Fast forward to 2020, when I saw the initial trailer of Miles Morales coming down that fire escape and seeing the Puerto Rican flag sitting there, the emotion I felt was too much. Even when he started walking down the street, you can see food trucks and hear the music playing and people dancing, I couldn't contain the tears. Never in all my years had I ever felt like I saw myself or my culture until now. I come from a Puerto Rican father and Dominican mother, so seeing this young man, who is also mixed, just doing small things around the house on Noche Buena was amazing. Seeing the coquis, the small frogs around the house, see it go whooshu, not something that I would have spotted or pointed out. His mom cooking the tamales and empanadas, and even just, I'm hungry now, and even just listening to her talk on the phone. I mean, to not only hear her talk Spanish, but to actually sound like one of my Puerto Rican aunts, it was a dream come true. Hearing him talk Spanglish to her, which is such a common thing for my sisters and I, it was an amount of care toward the details that I'll never forget or take for granted. Sure, it's a small part of the overall game, but that small part meant the world to me, especially at a time when I know I can't spend the holidays with my family like I'd love to. I'm forever grateful to the creators of these games, and to you both for shining some light on the two series that had such an impact on me. Amor y respeto, Juan. And I know you're a Guacamelee fan too, Brad.
Yeah, those games are great. Don't skip them.
Yeah. It's tough because when you look back at history, like when I studied film, it was interesting to note. I remember like I Love Lucy was a big deal when they put the beds together. Everyone's like, woo! And see, All in the Family, MASH. Like there's just a lot of these series that, kind of, knocked down walls and did things other series had never done before. And it's just kind of like game development and innovation where like people can always point like, well, they weren't the first to do that. Technically it was this, or, obviously there are, the indie scene has a lot of lovely, representation. It's just when like Spider-Man does it, it's just when Sony does it for an exclusive, for a launch title, when so much attention is put on this. That stuff really stands out to me.
Cool.
And I just want to shine as much of a light on it as I can because I am a super boring white guy. It was so fast to make myself in Immortals Phoenix Rising. My Phoenix that runs around the world is me.
I don't think you're boring, Jones.
No, I just mean I am the default. You know, if you roll the dice, I am the default guy in every,
every
like RPG.
There ain't
I'm
nothing
just
wrong
like the
with
standard.
Just be you, Jonesy. Don't even worry about it.
I love to hear those sentiments and try to express that. Because it's something that I have taken for granted, Brad. Because it's easy to, because I'm so used to seeing myself or seeing people that look like me or look like
Jones. One thing I've always wanted in games that they never do ever, and it's only something like I think about mostly, is I want to be able to be left-handed in more games, Jones.
Ooh.
As someone who grew up who's like left-handed mostly, I always loved Link because he was left-handed.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah.
But then later on, they switched him to right hand, and I was like, "Oh no, dude! It's not the end of the world." But I'm like, man, I liked it that he was left-handed because it's unique. Yeah. In every game you play, you know, you got your sword in your right hand, your shield in your left hand. It's like, man, I just want to be able to switch. I would like that.
Yeah. It's funny. I was thinking of, because we were talking about the study on inverted controls, and it's like, to me, it's the same thing as left hand and right hand.
Right.
You know, there's no right answer to it, but it's just so funny how contentious the argument is. From Kit Snow, hello, allies. All I have to say this month is I love you. I hope you're safe, and also stream Wayne on Amazon Prime. It's about a socially awkward teenage boy on a trip to get his dad's car back with his girlfriend, who he's known for like a day, and they're both on the run from the cops. Anyway, it's good. It made me feel emotions, plus action and comedy that had me losing my mind. Warning, it is a bit gory, but listen, trust me. I mean, hey, the stock of that show just went up. Trust me, please. I want season 2 so bad. Love and respect. Kit loves Wayne Snow. Wayne, regular spelling, W-A-N-E, on Amazon Prime. Wayne.
Oh. Wayne.
I can't help. Hi, Wayne. Every time. Parasite Paladin. Hello, Jones and Brad. 2 months ago, when Huber was on, I talked about my love for professional wrestling and decided to do it again. In these past 2 months, I finally did it and completely dropped all WWE programming. Feels good to no longer watch a company that is just shitty. Also, the overall quality of the product can't be trusted to be enjoyable, so there's that too. Oof. Ready? Fuck you, Vince McMahon. New Japan Pro Wrestling has been going strong, squeezing in all the usual tours in this COVID-19 wrecked year. You know, I don't follow wrestling, but I do follow people saying terrible things about Vince McMahon. Mm-hmm. Last week, Tonight did a really interesting report on him, and him just like slapping reporters and stuff. Fun guy. The other tournament is the highly acclaimed Best of the Super Juniors. Same round robin situation where junior heavyweights, commonly known in the West as cruiserweights, fight to win a chance at the Junior Heavyweight Championship. Normally, these tournaments would have 2 blocks where the point winners of each compete in a final. However, due to COVID-19 restrictions, foreign wrestlers are limited to come over for a single tour. Still, the action in the ring is fantastic as usual, and I'm enjoying it completely. Even if it is a little hard to keep up to date, the winners will most likely compete for the belts at New Japan's biggest event of the year, Wrestle Kingdom, which is shaping up to be a must-not-miss show like it is every year. The promotion known as Stardom is also putting on great shows, although I am new to watching it, so not sure how their tours and big shows are set up throughout the year. Like I mentioned before, every single woman in the company is just so endearing, and I want shitty and endearing, both capitalized, just FYI. And I want to support them all. These women give it all, and their big shows, think pay-per-views, have some of the best matches you will see all year in them. Both NJPW and Stardom have their own streaming services called New Japan World and Stardom World, respectively. Each cost 999 yen, about $10 American, and you are charged at the start of the month, so subscribe sooner the better if you're curious. Some of the best wrestling you will see, and a ton of archives if you choose to go digging. Elsewhere, I'm enjoying the weekly shows for AEW and Impact Wrestling. AEW has fantastic storytelling and in-ring action, so I'm always waiting for next week. And Impact is fun, easy breezy watch. Last is NWA. It had a weekly free show on YouTube, but COVID-19 stopped that. Until now, NWA returned December 1st after 6 or so months gone. Another easy-to-watch show, especially for you promo lovers. Let me end again saying pro wrestling is great and can easily be enjoyed without the WWE. Isn't Sting in NWA? I saw some about that.
I heard he comes back. I haven't been paying attention to wrestling at all, but I did hear he came back. Jones, so one thing Mike told me a long time ago that kind of really resonated with me. He said
AEW, sorry. He
said wrestling is real life anime. And I was like, oh, that's totally true. Everyone's got power levels and stuff.
Yeah. I remember I got into the UFC for a while. because the co-founder of GameShows.com, Jeff Groats, got me into it. And it was so funny because I remember like I watched like one special and I was like, okay, this is cool. And then all it took was the next special and like one person came back and I was like, oh, it's a guy. And I was like, oh, he lost last match and then he'd win. Like, like, that's all it takes. You just got to watch two. You know, if you come back, you watch the sequel, you see all these returning characters. Also shout out to Glam, because Amanda did a improv series called Glow that was the Gorgeous Ladies of... Oh, no, sorry. Glow's the show.
Glow, yeah.
Glam is what Amanda did because it was the Gorgeous Ladies of Arm matches. So they did arm wrestling instead of actual wrestling. And not the actors on the show, but the actual Glow wrestlers that live in LA fell in love with the series, and they would come and cheer the gals on. And they were just like super loud, super boisterous, big energy, really, really fun gals to be around. So that endearingness you mentioned, I can definitely see it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Luis Brown. Hello, allies. I'd like to thank you all for all you do. 2020 has been a shitty year for me. It seems to be a theme. I had a house fire in February, which affected the whole house to the point where we have not moved back yet. I'm happy here, at least potentially you have plans to. Then in March, the UK went into its first lockdown. And to top it off in October, we found out my dad has cancer. This affected my mental state very badly. But then I found the allies. Being able to watch streams and videos from such a positive and funny group of people has helped me get through this year. I love what each of you brings to the table. I watch and love everything you guys make, from the podcast to, he said mandatory update. I'm guessing he means easy update. Although you can always go back. You can always go back and watch those old mandatory updates and everything in between. With everything that's been happening, Next Gen took a back seat until your coverage got me hyped. The week wait was long. Keep doing what you're doing. I know in 2021 you will smash it. Much love and respect. Luis, a.k.a. Lou Bro 1984. I guess that is you in chat.
Thanks, Luis.
That's a good feeling to know that so many bad things happened to you after a year, and then when you discover Easy Allies, things got better.
Yeah, that's super feel good for us.
Yeah. It's one thing if, people have been with us for a while. It's one thing if, they come to expect stuff that we do and enjoy it. It's another thing that once you discovered us, you had a positive experience. I hear that a lot where people are like, every time we do Opinion Yell, it's like, this is someone's first Easy Allies video.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Brandon K. Gann, the following are currently my most anticipated games, and Cyberpunk is disqualified for being imminent. Of these dozen, Beyond Good and Evil 2 is last and will likely be eliminated. Interesting. Every time somebody says those words, I'm like, right.
Ooh, yeah.
Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Yeah, wow.
Is it a game? It's hard to think. A 25-minute developer commented demo shows promise, but with everything coming out about Ubisoft, my initial hype is practically gone. Back 4 Blood is also, although I'm alternating between Ubisoft games, I'm playing Immortals and Valhalla, just like back and forth, back and forth.
I'm playing Immortals too.
Immortals is fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
Woof. That is like the quickest open world game I've ever played, just in terms of like run.
Yeah, I knew Jones. Yeah.
Run.
Great Jones game.
I know I brought it up, but a really funny comment from Damiani, because I couldn't figure out how to clear the cloud. I went into the next zone. I was like, what am I doing wrong? I thought it would be at the Hall of Gods. It's like a place they direct you to, and I climbed to the top of it, and I'm like, I thought there would be a thing. And I messaged Damiani. I'm like, what do I got to do to clear the cloud? And Damiani's like, Jones, you have to climb the tower.
Yeah.
It's like, what? It's like, it's the statue of Aphrodite. You gotta climb. I was like, oh. It's like your favorite thing in the world.
Yeah,
I was so disappointed.
funny.
I'm a hack. I'm an open world hack. I couldn't find the tower. Back 4 Blood is also low because there's nothing released about it sans concept art and Turtle Rock's mocap Mondays tweets. Forgot about that one too, the Left 4 Dead pseudo sequel. Also, if a rumor is true about it being tower defense, I'll lose interest because defending an objective against waves of enemies isn't appealing. That's my stuff. Halo Infinite barely makes the top 10, yet all of the development problems plus the underwhelming reveals of gameplay and story leave me unenthused. It'll work out. Xbox can't miss, so I'm okay waiting. Get to the Orange Door is if Titanfall 2 looked like Tron, and having a trailer for Games Radar's future game showcase was neat. Technically already on PC, but the stream confirmed an Xbox port I want to try. Wrath Aeon of Ruin has been in early access for a year, but was slated for consoles this past spring. I know I've heard that name, but I'm not seeing it. And we all know what happened. I forgot. Now pushed to February 21st, it looks like a gothic horror version of Doom.
Ooh.
Okay. All right. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe Edition is the last port on my list, and I became interested with the announcement at the 2018 Game Awards. But like Wrath, it too was delayed because of the pandemic. Now, into the top half dozen. And all are PlayStation exclusive. Maybe not permanently, but the 6th is Final Fantasy 16. I'm surprised to see it with the 7 remake project not finished, and while the trailer leaves me mixed, I hope it'll be good. Square Enix is going to do a lot of things before Final Fantasy 7 is finished.
Yeah, I like people have been saying, do you think we'll see it like months ago to me at some event this year? I'm like, no, it came out this year. Yeah. That game's not coming out for like 2 years at least.
Squeaking in the top 5 is Kena Bridge of Spirits. It's the only new IP announcement for this year I'm interested in, and Game Informer's cover story has all kinds of exciting details for what seems like a jolly time. When did Game Informer? Their cover story?
I think it was a while ago.
I saw Reiner today was like, hey, news dropping. Or like maybe they just announced it for December. I don't know. Curious what their December cover is. Maybe that's it. Next up is Horizon Forbidden West. Yeah, the sequel to my 2017 GOTY. I fell in love with Horizon's story, world, machines, and gameplay, and I'm eager to go back and face new machines and mysteries. I am shameful of my words and deeds because I was like, I just thought the trailer was kind of meh, because they didn't really introduce kind of the new story. They were like, remember this guy who was kind of the villain who you don't trust? Well, he's doing sneaky things, and there's Aloy, and she's running around. And I was like, right? Like, right. You know, I thought they were just going to have a Doc Brown spider monster, and they didn't. But somebody said, man, now that I'm playing PS5, all I can think about is Horizon Zero Dawn. And they posted a gif of her in the water because you couldn't swim under the waves. And she's looking up, and like some robot crocodile's going over her. And I'm like, what am I talking? This game's going to be amazing.
Sure, yeah.
All right. My bad. Taking bronze is Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Being a massive RNC fan, I was overjoyed the reboot was Insomniac's most successful project before Spider-Man. I love your Ratchet, but you're not going to beat Spider-Man sales. I was afraid Spider-Man's success would shift focus from RNC, but I'm happy to be wrong. Rift Apart has done the best on selling next gen, and I am doing another full series replay before release. The runner-up, God of War Ragnarok. I feel it is a guarantee for GOTY contention, as anything unreleased can. With how awesome the reboot is, I have complete faith Ragnarok will be phenomenal, but I don't believe the 2021 date. Lastly, my most anticipated game is a spoiler for my 2020 GOTY list, the next and all future installments for Final Fantasy VII Remake. With how incredible the first game is, I'm confident the full project will hit all the right notes for me.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
You got to imagine Sony just like gave Barlog and Santa Monica a blank check. They're just like,
oh yeah.
However many people you need to hire, we need this is
Oh yeah.
We need another hit, baby.
Oh yeah.
Jesse Blue, Christmas Without You. Hello, Brandon, Brad, and Chad. Greetings from the Midwest. November was a hell of a month in this year that just won't die. It started with an election and a migraine headache, my first in 6 months. Those suck. After all this time in the office as an essential worker, they finally sent me back home to work from home, but not in time to keep me from catching COVID. The worst part is, since you can't get tested until you've had symptoms for 5 to 7 days and you're contagious for 3 days before you show symptoms and another 3 days to get results, you won't know how many people you've spread sickness to in that time. This is the biggest reason why masks are so important. I gave it to my daughter without even knowing I had it. Please, please, please wear a mask anytime you're around anyone. And even if you think it's allergies or something you ate or a tickle in your throat, if you have any of the COVID systems, wear a mask at home around your family and keep track of your symptoms. You see, I never had a fever. I just had mild cold symptoms, drank some orange juice, ate some chicken soup, took some cold medicine, and I was fine until the difficulty breathing set in. That's when I realized I probably had it, but then it was too late. Luckily, I was already back to working from home, so I didn't pass it to anyone at work. Did you know you can still test positive even 3 weeks after your symptoms end and you aren't contagious anymore? I didn't. And now with all the stress this past month has brought, I'm heading into the start of this month with yet another migraine, hence the reason for a text post instead of an audio clip. I don't know what else to say, but take care of yourselves, and that means thinking about your health above your comfort. Take care of your loved ones by not hiding it if you feel sick. Take care of others by wearing a mask and getting tested. Take care of each other, chat, because mental health is important too, especially right now. Anxiety and self-loathing are at an all-time high. Check in with people you haven't heard from in a couple days. You never know how much it might mean to them. Shout out to RF Switch, MXA Ghost, It's Jess, I Guess, and my other ally and ACNH friends for checking in on me and boosting my spirits when I need it. And thanks to the Great 8 allies, the Great 8.
The Great 8.
I like it. And their friends and families for letting us peek into their lives for a little bit of entertainment. This year, we really need it. Thanks for listening. Love and respect and happy holidays. Jesse Blue. shout out to first of all, Jess, sorry that. Sorry that you had to deal with that. That is very unfortunate, but it happens. I hope you are getting better. And shout out to Lightspeed LA, Mike Buddy. If any of you remember Mike Buddy, got the Lightspeed LA mask. This is my jam right now.
Oh, okay.
Buddy came by the house. Oh, the only friend I've had since we moved, because I showed him the space and he gave me advice for something for lighting, and I was like, that mask, buddy. Where'd you get that cozy mask? And if you have any friends that are doubters or doubters yourself, Bill Nye just posted a really good video just about why masks are important. And he said something that was like, I mean, I've been practicing it, but like, man, that's a really good point, and not something I hear people say that often. Is he's like, everybody's talking about air. Everybody talks about you hold a candle and when you have a mask on, and then you can't blow the candle out, and that's why people aren't getting sick. He's like, people aren't getting sick because it's not air that's passing it, it's moisture, it's phlegm, it's bleh. He's like, and that's what he's like, a mask is a net. It catches all that stuff. So it's interesting, you think of the particles floating in the air as like a breeze, like the wind,
right?
And it's not, it's sticky, it gets caught in a mask. Joseph Caruso, as we grow older, the passage of time feels to accelerate exponentially. While I feel like I do a pretty good job at not dwelling on the past and instead focusing on the present, some people are focusing on the present right now. For some reason, I think a lot about the substantial time gaps in gaming releases now compared to similar time gaps in the past that felt like an eternity. I'd like to share a few of these time gap observations. This is a depressing post. If anybody's over 30 years old, brace yourself. While they should sound reasonable at first, they might feel unbelievable when considering the relative time gaps from our past. I'm 35, which I believe is between the ages of Brad and Brandon, so perhaps they will get similar feelings that I experienced when thinking about this stuff. Also, these relative time gaps I'm about to mention are to the exact number of days or even months. Are not to the exact number of days or even months, but rather year by year. Ready? The Xbox 360 is now as old as the Super Nintendo was when the Xbox 360 was released. 15 years.
Yeah.
It's been longer since the release of Mario Galaxy than the time between Mario Galaxy and Mario 64. The GameCube came out 19 years ago.
Yeah.
The GameCube. When you say GameCube, I think of Amanda, because that when Amanda and I started dating, it was GameCube. It was Wind Waker. It was Animal Crossing. It was all that stuff. It was GameCube and not HD. It was a 4x3 massive, super heavy TV in our living room with the GameCube plugged in. Memory cards. Oh, memory cards. At the time, the NES was released only 16 years ago. The original Game & Watch Gallery on Game Boy released 23 years ago, but that came out only 17 years after the first actual Game & Watch game was released, which I played. In fact, Super Smash Bros. Melee is almost as old now as Mr. Game & Watch was at the time. Half-Life Alyx was released almost 13 years after the most recent Half-Life 2 episode. That I knew.
Yeah.
That is a span of time I felt. That's longer than the gap between the releases of Doom 2016 and Doom 3, and only slightly shorter than the gap between the announcement and eventual release of Duke Nukem Forever. Namco Museum on Game Boy Advanced is now as old as some of the arcade games on those collections. Star Wars The Force Unleashed came out. I'm curious if you guessed this one, Brad. Force Unleashed.
2008?
Boom! 12 years ago. The same time between that game's release and the release of Shadows of the Empire on the N64. The same 12-year gap also applies to Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts and Super Mario 64. And I saved the most insane one for last. The very first episode of The Angry Nintendo Nerd, released longer ago from now than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles released on NES at the time. Want to feel really old? Want to feel like you're old and living in the distant future? Blade Runner takes place in 2019.
Yeah.
Back to the Future 2 takes place in 2015. The season 6 episode of The Simpsons, where a fortune teller predicts that Lisa gets married in the future, took place in 2010. Happy holidays, everyone. Please continue to stay home. I know we're social creatures, but you are loved regardless of how far away you are from friends and family. Ian tweeted this, and it was on Amazon Prime. And I sometimes when I'm editing stuff, when I was cutting the Haven review, I'm like, I just want to put something dumb on in the background. So I want to put on Johnny Mnemonic. And that whole movie looks like a stupid stunt show. But Ian pointed out Johnny Mnemonic takes place in 2021 and begins with him walking through a protest of a pandemic. That was a fascinating post, Joseph. Thank you for that. All right, here we go. Morgan Mohala. Hello, Jones and Brad. From a community showcase post, I would like to have Brandon be interviewed by Brad. I believe, with the exception of Dawn, this will be all the allies interviewed, and I will have to think of something new for the next showcase. As always, the questions will be an assortment of broad-ranging questions related to life and video games. There's a list of 10. Brad can pick 5 that he likes, and Brandon can feel free to skip and replace any unsavory or outlandish questions with a different question from the list. The audience, as always, will be left wondering what got left unasked due to its extreme nature. Love and respect, Morgan Mohala. I'm actually. Did you pick 8?
Oh, I thought you said 5.
No, I'm sorry. Did you pick number 8? Because remember I said I read.
No, I did not.
Yeah, number 8 was a joke about Oedipus, which is one of my favorite jokes from History of the World from Mel Brooks, if you've ever seen that. So you can guess why potentially that was unsavory. So 8 was already stricken from the list because I just saw it. I didn't know that. I was like, oh, he's interviewing me. And then I looked down and saw the word Oedipus. And I was like, I got the joke already. But all right, here we go.
Okay. I like this question, Jones, as a relatively new parent.
Ooh.
What EZA score would you give to Parenthood so far, and when do you see it becoming a 10 out of 10 if it isn't already?
Absolute 10 out of 10.
There it is.
Absolute 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 day one?
Because, some 10 out of 10s are really tough. They're really tough games. But it is something that just gets better and better and better. As I mentioned on Cup of Jones, Milo's big thing is, oh, wow. That's like his new
He's
phrase
saying wow a lot now. Yeah.
And when the first time he said, when you hear your kid talk, it's just like, we'll be sitting at the dinner table and he'll crack us up. And I'm just like, I haven't laughed that much in a super long time. There's just, it's like shaking a bottle of Coke and cracking it open. It's just like the happiness just bubbles out of you. There's nothing you can do. So total 10 out of 10.
Okay. Though you are
Might dip though. If it dips, I'll let you know.
When
he starts walking, it could be like an 8.5.
Maybe teenage years too. We'll see. Though you are still young, have you picked up any old person habits or opinions?
All my opinions are old person opinions.
Yeah,
I got straight boomer tactics for all of my rants. I twisted my back trying to do something. We were moving something around the house, and I was like, and I noticed, God, there are lots of hills in my neighborhood now. Whereas I used to live kind of in a flat neighborhood, and so like the calves are
burning.
Those dogs are barking a little bit, and we got new rugs for our bedroom, and we put them by our bed. And I was putting on my slippers the other day because I just wear slippers around the house instead of shoes. A new floor, want to keep it nice. And I sat down on the bed. Usually I would just kind of stand up one leg after the other, and I sat down on the bed like Mr. Rogers to put on slippers. And I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, man. It happens to everybody.
Getting old. Good question.
All right. This is your expertise field, Jones. Can you briefly explain your knowledge of anime as if you were trying to impress someone at a job interview?
For anime?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess so. Let's say you're getting a job at Crunchyroll, Jones.
Well, Amanda has actually been taking steps recently, my wife, voice actor, to really break into anime. And she has a friend, shout out to Adam MacArthur, who's in some show that just launched on Crunchyroll. And he is the lead in it, and he kind of ran her through the paces of like how to do anime. And it's interesting because it's an intensity without noise. You're like, yeah, you're yelling, but you're not like getting louder, like, and it's interesting to like apply like an emotional intensity to something without, just 11 out of 11 the whole time.
Right.
You don't want to be monotone. There are levels to anime, but it impacts in a way that other animation doesn't, in terms of like the absolutely heightened everything. And it's fascinating how something can initially be perceived for people that aren't fans of it as potentially being silly or over the top. But then, all you got to do, Amanda was watching My Hero Academia, and, I'm just kind of watching it over her shoulder or just like coming in and out of the room while she's watching it. And I'm just like, well, wait a minute. Did that guy graduate? I thought he was. She's like, no, that's not him. That's his brother. And I'm like, oh, okay. Damn it. I'm wrapped up in this thing.
That's good, Jones. But tell me, you gotta come to me like a real anime fan, Jones.
Right.
You gotta have some cred.
The thing about anime is anime don't quit, man. We're not talking the 3 seasons and then it gets canceled by Netflix. If you're One Piece, you might not have enough time in your life to watch all of One Piece.
True.
That is the strength of anime.
True.
You can go out and you could read the Odyssey right now and you'd be done. You know, you not in one sitting, but like, a couple weeks you're finished. Anime is superior to any other form of entertainment because they tell stories massive enough to last that long.
That's good. All you would have to say, Jones, is that you like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And I think you'd be okay.
Yeah.
And just do like a, oh my god! And I think you'd be friends with
Son of a bitch!
Yeah. That'd be real good.
One word. Hamon.
Hamon.
Moving on.
All right. Time to get spicy with some opinions.
Yes.
Now I'm going to take one out you cannot talk about because this is already well documented, your opinion on it.
Okay.
What song, game, and movie do you feel are overrated? No T2.
Okay. Well, that's the thing. I think T2 doesn't hold up. I don't think it's overrated.
Okay.
But that's okay.
Okay. Ooh.
Am I literally just saying the titles and then moving on? I don't.
You can go into it a little
because I don't want to.
Explanations are optional.
Movie and just nothing but love and respect to everyone that loves it. Moulin Rouge. Game. What's a game that everybody likes? Games are pretty cool.
Games are cool.
The original Legend of Zelda, the OG, the NES game.
You think it's a little overrated?
I was bored.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't really. It's a tad repetitive. Innovative, but not something I would be interested.
Did you play it later in life?
Super Mario.
Or were you there pretty early?
I played it at the time. I was like, I like Link
man.
2 a lot better than the OG. It's history making. It's groundbreaking. It is legendary, literally. But going back, not a lot of interest. Whereas like Super Mario Brothers, I just got the Game & Watch thing, and I was like, oh, this game's so good. And then what? A game, movie, and what else?
You can do a song.
Oh, song. What is it?
Oh, Fall Out Boy. Fall Out Boy. Is that the one Kyle used to sing on the podcast? Like that?
I know the lyrics now, but I remember I was in my car just furious. Like, what the hell is he saying? And every now and then Amanda will ask me, she's like, what is it? I'm like, a loaded god complex, cock it and pull it.
Right,
like,
yeah. Early 2000s stuff.
Jones,
I've probably told you this before. You know, the original Legend of Zelda is what captured my imagination in games. It's such a interesting opinion to hear, something that didn't affect someone nearly as much as it did me.
Yeah.
All right. Little fun thing.
I didn't have the patience for it, and so it says a lot about me as well.
Little fun thing. Teach us, Jones, something that we can do at home. The audience.
You can stretch. Here.
Ooh.
Take some fun stretches. This
important.
This is what I do. What I do for the cast. Put your arms up against the wall, and then one leg forward, and then the leg stretch the other leg back, and then alternate. That's a really good one.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee your calves are hurting. They just are. There's nobody survives that. Nobody doesn't get Charlie horses and has to deal with that stuff. This is also a good one. Just a straight right angle, a 90-degree angle of your arm. Boom, right on the wall. Right when you start to do it, you're like, oh, that's not a problem. Try that for about 60 seconds. And like, Also good is like if you're in a door frame, just put one arm back and just hold it and pull yourself forward a little bit. Also good is just the hands behind the back. That one. Because we spend so much time doing this. Amanda candidly came in the room the other day while I was rocking Milo back and forth on his little rocking horse. And I'm like this. I'm like, it's my boy. And she's like, oh God, look at me. Like, so yeah, we all have bad posture, and
I know
we're all addicted to games.
Yeah.
So there you go. You can do that at home. You don't need equipment. You don't need stretchy bands or anything. You just need a wall.
Stretching is very important. Something I neglect big time. All right, that's 5.
I mean, even saying it now, like I'm not on a high horse right now. I forget. I go weeks without doing that stuff, so it's always good.
That's 5. That's
Did
it.
You make it?
Yeah, that's it. That's 5. You did great.
I gotta admit, I was hoping one of those was just a little spicier. Just a little spicier. Of course, I'm gonna get so many Moulin Rouge tweets now.
Really? Who's going to tweet about Moulin Rouge?
Moulin Rouge fans.
But it's like,
I like the music. I like the performances. I sing the songs myself, and
right.
like in the shower while I'm driving. And it's just a silly movie that
just a silly movie.
And I love silly movies, but it's a silly movie that like by the end it's like, no, we're serious now. And I'm like, you're not, Moulin Rouge. You're not a serious movie now. You can't flip the switch. James Davey, greetings, Brandon and Brad. Recently, I've been addicted to Wheel of Fortune.
Oh.
And it has me pondering whether Ubisoft's games prefer addictiveness over enjoyability. Except Watch Dogs 2 and Rayman Legends, because those games showcase what Ubi is capable of at their best. Gears 5 scenery has immersed me so much now that I'm concentrating on the food left on the discarded plates outside of restaurants and the microwaves found in the kitchens than the encroaching locust hordes. The main theme for the showcase will be the subject matter of video game difficulty. That was a roller coaster ride at the beginning.
Yeah.
Interesting Watch Dogs 2. Interesting playing Valhalla and comparing it to
Watch Dogs?
Odyssey.
Sure, yeah.
Just those two. But interesting.
Well, you're playing Phoenix Rising now too,
which is the same team, and it's interesting. You could see that team being like, "Oh, we don't have to take this seriously."
Right? Oh, they really don't.
I love in Red Dead and Valhalla when you like call the horse is always where you're not looking. It's in your blind spot. You just turn around. Oh, there was my horse the whole time. And I love like Phoenix. Literally, it's just like kapow! Like just splits in the air, and this the horse just whoop just appears in front of them because they're like, it's Greek mythology. Who cares?
I can no longer see you. You did something on your end. Well, your screen's white now, but it's okay if you can't fix it. Just to let you know.
What? Oh, it is. But what the heck?
What?
Yeah.
As long as chat sees you, that's still good. That's the most important.
Wait, can you see me on the screen share thing?
No.
On the stream?
I can see your screen, but what you're showing me is like your XSplit,
chat
and
sees you.
Nothing really there.
Weird. Hold on a second. Let's go to drawings.
There it is. Oh.
And then back to cam.
Yep. Now it's good again. It must just been glitching.
Yep.
Oh, it's gone now again.
Bye.
Yeah. It's all right.
I love Brad. Brad's the best. I'm just kidding. James Davey. The main theme for the showcase will be the subject matter of video game difficulty. I know Brad is a stickler for difficult games, so this could be in his wheelhouse. Bloodborne, Dark Souls, Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, Nioh, and Cuphead are all very well and good, but I often think the diligence required outweighs the pleasures of besting bosses, yet they are all quality experiences that I respect, and I respect those who love them, even though the fan base is telling me to get good ought to get a life or something silly like that. However, a particular issue with difficult games that I mentioned in the Q&A, regardless of the unfairness, regards the unfairness of Ghostrunner. I know Brad reacted with
this. I did not agree with them.
I know Brad reacted with the meh, which I respect because it's an each their own thing, but I'd like to get Brad's full thoughts and a retort of the following criticism. Ghostrunner is a decent cyberpunk slasher and wall running feels rhythmically fluid, but the way enemies can kill you with one hit, all while you, as the player, have to cut out shields whilst being susceptible to bullets and you can't dodge, its design flaws start to expose themselves. Isn't an example of a game being a fair level of difficult, but rather a game that tries to extend playtime through difficulty. You may say this about Super Meat Boy and Hotline Miami, but Super Meat Boy's platforming is precise and gives you a sense of control over your jumps. In Hotline Miami, you know you need to be sudden and stylish and there are no cheap tricks. But in Ghostrunner, you don't possess a significant level of control over what happens, and its style is often compromised by repeated deaths. Yet, to its credit, Ghostrunner's challenges can be overcome when you are in tune with enemy movement patterns and idiosyncrasies. I love video game discussion. This is why I bring up negative views on franchises you guys love, not because I dislike those games. Far from it. It's about creating a discussion, and I love a video game discussion. I've been meaning to... okay, cool. Yeah, the rest is not Ghostrunner related.
I feel like you just answered your own question. You just contradicted yourself. The game, you just said, the game gives you the tools to overcome each challenge if you utilize all of them. I don't think Ghostrunner is an unfair game at all. You could do everything if you just think about what you're doing and doing it at the right time. It is a challenging game, yes, but you're never in a situation that you can't get out of if you experiment and play around a little.
How far back are the load areas? So if I die, how much ground am I going to have to cover?
There's maybe two I could think of that might be a little annoying. There's a boss fight, maybe I will say, that could be kind of bad, but not too bad. I don't know. I don't agree. I think the game gave you enough options to be able to get around everything and be okay.
Yeah. But I mean, shout out James Davey, because I asked that specifically, the load thing, because that's why I got burnt out in Sekiro.
Yeah, sure.
Man, I've spent an hour trying to get past this guy. I gotta spend time.
You think about like Demon Souls or something. Where you die at the boss, and it's not necessarily the boss doing it again that's the problem. It's the huge run back you have to do a lot of times in Demon Souls that could be annoying. Right. But
Demon Souls, sorry.
I was gonna say Ghostrunner stuff's like usually pretty quick and right there. It kind of goes for that Hotline Miami Phil Jones of just death go kind of thing. But you're not really doing huge runbacks or unreasonable amounts of time to get back to somewhere where you were. So yeah, I totally hear where you're coming from, and I totally respect it. I just don't agree.
Brad, it's interesting. I've played Dark Souls, and I played Dark Souls 3. I never played Dark Souls 2 or Demon Souls. And of course I've played Bloodborne like 3 times all the way through. And so Demon Souls, this new PS5 version, that's going to be my first Souls that I'm playing with the intent to hopefully someday finish. So it's going to be interesting. Specifically Souls versus Bloodborne. It's going to be interesting to get that.
Sure.
Having a shield, it's going to be like, woo.
Yeah, sure.
Look at me with my shield. I've been meaning to ask, will there be another Don't Laugh challenge like the ones you guys did in 2017? Of course, with current circumstances, it won't be quite the same, but I'd love to see an episode including, say, Ben and Blood taking out Damiani and Brandon. Yeah, I was not involved in that Don't Laugh.
Yeah.
Have either of you seen Don't Laugh challenge is when when Milo does something he shouldn't, and because you instinctively, when you see a baby, like, you like throw something, you want to be like, whoa, but you don't want to react big because then he'll want that reaction. So, if he throws something, you just kind of be like, okay. And then he's like, hey, pick that up. And you're like, I'm not going to, man. You threw it on the ground. You got to learn the consequences of that. And he'll smile at me. Like, he's like, I know you thought that was funny. And it's like, I did.
Yes.
You can't do that. That's my own Don't Laugh challenge. Have either of you seen Ego Raptor videos, such as the Awesome series of videos? If not, one of them includes an Xbox 360 being ripped open, including discs getting crushed into snortable powder.
Oh, my God. I've seen like the old Ego Raptors, like Metal Gear Awesome. Like, I don't even know how many years ago that was, like 15 years ago, maybe. But I haven't seen any new stuff.
Thanks for all you do. Love and respect. That is a name I remember, but I do not recall any specific series. From Stephen Beaumont. Merry Christmas, everyone. I hope that there are good games and good memories for the new year. Love and respect. Thanks, Steve.
Hey, thanks.
Love it. From Next Gen Half. Hey, guys. First off, glad to see Brad playing Yakuza Like a Dragon. It is definitely a game everyone should play. Tempting for me to check that. There's a lot of games. But
a lot of games.
Tempting to... That just looks like a blast. Every time I see people posting stuff from Yakuza games, it is insane.
Yeah, they are insane.
There's like a giant Rumba boss. So he's like, he's getting sucked up to the vacuum cleaner. Like, oh, man. Other than this, I've been playing Crusader Kings 3 with its new Create Your Own Ruler update. I created the overpowered game-breaking ruler Donecan, who took over an area of Ireland. The following, is the most accurate summary I can give of everything that followed. Now, I just want to point out, Next Gen Half, I started reading a little further ahead. I didn't read the intro, and I read some of these lines, and I was like, what happened to... Oh, it's in Crusader Kings. Okay. I was like, oh my God, the month you've had. And it was like, oh, it's a video game. All right, thanks. It helps to have that context at the beginning. Here we go. I started my campaign by marrying a Welsh girl and allying with her brother, an up-and-coming Welsh ruler. We started a happy life with children on the way as I proceeded to conquer parts of Ireland. Now, most of my council were smart and helpful, but my priest, who I could not replace, was a dumb guy with the poor learning score of 5. And of course, he would be the one to bring bubonic plague into my lands. It swept like wildfire throughout my court, killing many. I proceeded to go through 5 more priests, 4 of whom died of the plague, 1 of cancer. No physician was able to help. The 4 I went through either died or were just fired and exiled. No physician, so he went through 4 other physicians. My wife was permanently disfigured and had to wear a mask due to a botched treatment. My youngest daughter at the time died, but somehow my other daughter and son managed to survive the plague, along with my overpowered self. After all this plague nonsense, expansion was on my mind. I continued to push to rule all of Ireland. Also during this time, I declared a war on some Welsh territory to let my wife rule what she has claims to. to. In the years following, her brother and her would be fruitful Irish allies when they were not fighting each other. I finally became the King of Ireland, and with numerous children of my own, I started to spread my dynasty, marrying a few of my children into future leadership positions around the continent. I married off my eldest daughter to the heir of the Duchy of Tuscany in Italy, who was then to produce an heir of my dynasty before her husband died in a war. Where I was checking my court, I discovered I had a 40-year-old man with a claim to the Kingdom of Ireland, so I chose one of my daughters to marry him and attempt to produce an heir of my dynasty to the crown. I declared war on England, won, and installed this guy as the new king. Immediately, I had to assist him in a war with Scotland, and as soon as that started, he asked for help with another. I declined the second one, which he would end up losing to the former king, who strangely didn't become king again. Instead, his sister ended up ruling as Queen of England. Not to be undone, I have since declared another war on England to reinstall my guy. To be continued. Next gen half.
Dude, nice. That's really fun.
Damn. Yeah. I loved when Ian streamed that and just didn't get anywhere.
Sure, yeah.
Like 3 hours. You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, we'll play more of that later. Megan Leonard, hello, gentlemen. I hope this month has been treating everyone well. In November, I've been quite slow with games. I've actually been watching a lot of anime because of this weird game burnout I was experiencing, so I figured I'd just chronicle some of that, then end with the super awesome game series I just started this week. I definitely got burnt a little bit right after the move. I was so tired. I'm just like, I don't want to crack open Valhalla just yet. I started Naruto for the first time.
Hell yeah.
And I have been so hooked on it. I'm on episode 90 right now, and I can't wait to get back in and watch more. I love Naruto and Kakashi, while Sasuke is the ultimate angsty teen. The cast has been the real highlight for me so far. They're all so memorable. Next up, I finished Vinland Saga, and this anime was just amazing. Very dark and sad, but felt so accurate to the Viking time period, and the characters were amazing. None of them good people, but they gave us a deep look as to why they did what they did, and it worked beautifully. I highly recommend this one if you love revenge tales or Vikings. I gave it 9.5. I also started Modao Zushi, which is my first Chinese anime, and this is a spectacle. The music and beautiful art direction make this, in my opinion, a must-see. I'm quite early yet, but it could easily be one of my favorites when I'm finished. I started Hunter x Hunter. I'm roughly 12 episodes in and enjoying seeing how the creator has evolved since Yu Yu Hakusho, which I'm also watching for the first time now as well. It's just so interesting seeing how far he's come, but also feeling so much like it too. It's been very fun and enjoyable so far. Eager to get into more. Lastly, I started the anime Monster, which has been my new favorite anime that I've started. The stellar writing and great music keep me on the edge of my seat. I love the slow, methodical pace and really mature story. I can't wait to see what happens next. Well, that's been my month for the new anime I've started. I'm also watching my seasonal anime too, of course, which has been really enjoying a lot. Jujutsu Kaisen being the real standout. That's my boy. That's Adam MacArthur. That's what I couldn't remember it. Jujutsu Kaisen. Thanks to Black Friday, I was able to secure the Kingdom Hearts all-in-one package for $20. Yeah. I have also been watching Jujutsu Kaisen. Yeah. As I'm writing this, I'm nearing the end of KH1, and I can't believe how much fun I've been having, to be honest. I haven't had that game to really grip me in all of November till I started Kingdom Hearts. It's all I've been playing all week. I hope to talk about it more next month when I'm finished, but until then, have a great holiday and stay safe.
Damn, you're doing work. So much content.
Yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen's creepy stuff, man. Some creepy paranormal activity going on there. Small Leviathan, greeting friends and comrades. I don't want to be dramatic, but November might have just been one of the worst months for me in a long time. Not only did I have to deal with transition from being unemployed to studying, with my current distant goal being to apply one of the country's largest game developer schools to apply to, with all of the financial paperwork that implied, but my local card game store discontinued all organized play for the foreseeable future due to new COVID regulations in Sweden, just weeks before my most anticipated Magic the Gathering set all year. Dealing with constant financial stress and nothing to do with my spare time turned November into a tangle of anarchic sleep schedules and far too many days between showers, but I'm powering through it because I have decided that I'm going to follow my dream of becoming a game developer, and nothing, not even 2020, is going to stop me. Anyway, I picked up a couple of games during the Steam Halloween sale, so that's what I'm going to talk about now. Congrats on that, Small Leviathan, and good luck. The first of this is the year's indie darling Hades. I've actually played all of Supergiant's previous games for the first time this year, and seeing their progression was very interesting indeed. Hades is, in many ways, their best game, but it's also, in my opinion, their least interesting game as well. This mostly comes down to the choice of setting. As cool as Supergiant's interpretation of Greek mythology is, it pales in comparison to the awe-inspiring writing of Pyre. That said, I'm not going to deny that no Supergiant game feels good in your hands as Hades does, and I think the 100-ish hours I put into the game within 3 weeks is a testament to the fact that I really like it. Hades isn't my personal choice for Game of the Year, but to be perfectly honest, I hope it absolutely crushes its contenders in the Game Awards later this week because it's better and more ambitious than almost all of them by a country mile. I would love to see that as well. I'm really curious to jump into this game before we talk about GOTYs. The other game I brought was Prey, the 2017 game by Arcane, and boy, did I really like Prey. In fact, I think it is in many ways Arcane's best game. I love the focus on survival over stealth, shifting the focus from quick load happy ghost run perfectionism to using your tools and your wits to resolving combat encounters while using up as little resources as possible. It's also by far Arcane's thematically densest game, dealing with identity, memory, and the value of tests in a way that makes it one of the smartest games I've played in a long time. I always loved Dishonored, so I don't know why it took me so long to pick up Prey, but I'm glad that I did, and it has me really excited for Deathloop next year. Well, that's all for this month. Next time is 2021, and I'll be detailing my top games of 2020. See you then. Yeah, Deathloop definitely seems more of the Dishonored realm.
Sure,
Deathloop seems like, we'll be getting lots of fun acrobatic videos.
Mm-hmm.
Like Sunhee Legend's going to be posting lots of GIFs of Deathloop. Yeah, curious about Prey. The one thing that turned me off to Prey was like the little enemies. I'm not a big fan of like little tiny things in shooters.
Sure, yeah.
Like, oh, get that little guy. Maybe just aliens and facehuggers just ruined me forever. But.
Yeah.
Jason A. Sackle. The month of November ended up being very unproductive. I played a lot of video games. I guess that was to be expected with the launch of a new console. Anywho, let's go from the worst thing I played to the best. Make it fun. Why not? Bug Snacks. It was a PS Plus game. I figured, why not? Wasn't bad. More of a time waster, really. Was glad I didn't pour any money into it. Can't say, a little bit of money. Can't say I remember any of the names of the characters or bugs in the game. It was a thing. Hollow Knight. I had been curious to play this game, and PS Plus gave the opportunity. I enjoyed it. Said to be continued, but so I guess another game is going to be made. I'll nab it. Oh yeah, baby. What's it?
Silk Song.
Silk Song. I'll nab it if it goes on PS Plus. Sure, why not? Miles Morales. Oh, Spider-Man. Jason had a slew of really fascinating glitches when he played the original Spider-Man.
Oh, man.
For context, I was very optimistic when I started this game. Towards the beginning, I got stuck in an invisible box after engaging in an interaction with a couple during a segment. After the conversation, I was surrounded by invisible walls with no option but to restart. Through trial and curiosity, I found out that it happens if you interact with them before they engage in a brief encounter with an NPC. If you beat the NPC, boom, conversation prison. Please restart the checkpoint. It was really funny because it made that optional conversation memorable to where, when you meet them later in the story, one introduces herself like she never met you before. Great stuff. I was disappointed, though. I never encountered the glitch where Spider-Man transformed into a random object. Neither did I. I saw a trash can and a brick. Those were my two favorites. That I jealously observed others posting about it. Story was by the numbers, no surprises or big twists. I don't think the game was going to surprise anyone. Actually, I don't even think I checked to see if they had a big tree where Rockefeller Center should be. Let me go check that. I think they do. I remember seeing Rockefeller Center in the game. I believe there's a tree in there, but I definitely remember like being on top of a building, being like,
right,
there's the skating rink. It looks small. Let me go check that. Not really. Okay. You checked it live in the comment. There is a tree in correct juxtaposition to where Radio City is, but even that's on the wrong block, which is weird, actually. If you're going to put in real locations, why not the correct location? Even the surrounding area looks correct, just one avenue and a few streets off. Other than that, it was fun. It was fine. I'll be honest, completely forgot and didn't notice the Peter Parker's face while still the Peter Parker face thing while playing. Astro's Playroom. This game was incredible. For a free pre-installed game on the console, what a steal. This game made me have nostalgia for PlayStation that I didn't even know I had. It was just fun. Loved the Easter eggs. You could tell it was made with love. What they did with the DualSense controller with 2 was great. This team needs to make more games. If this was a full game, I'd buy it. What a banger. Picross 5? It's Picross. It's great. Love me some Picross. That's all. Hope the holidays treat you all well. Finally turned off the triggers, man, on a PS5 game.
Oh, you got sick of it? What game?
Mortals. For Mortals.
Oh, Wait, what in Immortals is like the bow?
No, I mean, the bow was okay. It was specifically the map. When you like tag things on the map, it's like it's location. I was like, stop.
Oh, I see.
I'm just tagging locations.
That's
man.
right.
Calm down.
Oh yeah.
It was very. Like,
it's very
aggressive. Hard.
Yeah,
like,
it's aggressive.
Those. And I was like, turn it down. And I'm like, just
turn it off.
I'm fine for this one. Really easy to get to those settings though. You just start and then boop 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 over to the controller there. Thanks to subs and resubs, everybody. XWF Outlaw. Hello, Jones, Brad, and chat. It's near the end of the dumpster fire hellscape known as 2021, but that isn't stopping me from continuing with my totally healthy, non-addictive weeb odyssey I began back in April. Now I return to the showcase yet again to bring the recent anime I have watched in October and November. Note, anime listed as dub and sub are each episode count, so you did both. Example, 25 episodes sub and dub equal 50 total episodes. You thought Small Leviathan's watching. So, well, who was it? Megan? You thought Megan was watching some anime. Here we go. Number 1, Citrus. 12 episodes, just the sub. Number 2, Devilman Crybaby. 10 episodes, sub and dub. Free! Exclamation point. Season 1, 12 episodes, sub and dub. Skullface Bookseller Honda-san. 12 episodes, sub. The Great Pretender. 23 episodes, dub. The Devil is a Part-Timer. 13 episodes, sub and dub. Cells at Work, 13 episodes, sub and dub. I'm guessing sub and dub means he liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm guessing if it's in that order, if it's always sub and then dub later. High School of the Dead, 12 episodes, plus OVA dub. What does OVA mean, I wonder?
I forgot what it stands for, but it's usually like a standalone thing, if I recall correctly. Like a brief special almost.
Oh, like a movie or so. Okay. Like Christmas special or something.
Yeah.
Sekaiichi Hatsukoi, 24 episodes plus 2 OVAs, sub. Uzaki-chan Just Wants to Hang Out, 12 episodes, sub. SSSS Gridman, 12 episodes, sub and dub. Original video animation. Thank you. Thank you, chat. I love the race. You can tell me.
I know, chat.
Saga of Tanya the Evil, 12 episodes plus the movie, sub, English dub, and German dub.
Whoa.
Nice. Reminds me of I love in City Slickers. I wish I could memorize the quote, but I love when they're sitting around a campfire and they're talking about baseball. And this one gal's like, man, she's like, you guys are so obsessed. She's like, look, I love baseball, but I don't remember who played third base for the Padres in 1984. And they're like, Brett well, you got it. Like, you can tell he's asking it like they're all ready to go. Beat you.
Yeah.
I was wondering just how much time my weebdom has accomplished since April, and I crunched the numbers. By the way, Scout's honor, this is true. Including rewatches and movies, I've amassed over 1,670 hours of anime, which, and again, I'm 100% not kidding, equals 69 days.
Wow. Nice.
Though impressive as that may be, I can only imagine Ben Moore watching the showcase and going full McConaughey meme with the "got pump those numbers, those rookie numbers in this bracket." This year has had a big impact on so many lives, including myself, for better or worse. I only hope that with the start of the new year and the spring leaves begin to bloom, we can start to find a way to return to a sense of normalcy and comfort. In closing, I think that it's only fitting that I sign off this year using a quote from Mr. Bradley Ellis himself when describing the Wii U that perfectly encapsulates the official sentiment of 2020: stay dead. Happy holidays and Old Lang Syne. X.
The Wii U died so we could have the Switch, so it was all right.
Yeah, it worked out. I made that connection to something. It was something that was bad, and I was like, I think the next one's going to be good because I think they're getting their footing. This is a fun one. This reminds me of the podcast producer credits. Get ready for some mispronunciation. Let me do some vocal exercises for this.
Oh, okay.
All right, here we go. Carl Williams. Hi, Jones and Brad. I want to use my showcase submission for this month to highlight, quite honestly, the only real thing that brought me absolute joy during this long and frustrating year: Vtubers.
Oh.
I peeked inside the VTuber rabbit hole around mid to late summer before fully diving in early September, and I have not looked back since. Rather than single out a particular VTuber or moment, I wanted to do something special. My very own shout out to as many VTubers as possible under the 500-word limit. Most of the names can be listed can be seen on YouTube, but some can also be seen on Twitch if anyone is curious to check them out. As you do at the end of each EZA podcast, if you can do one big shout out once all the names are read, that would be super rad. I'll go first, you go last. And that would be super. And chat, feel free to join in. May 2021 bring brighter days to us all, Carl. Without further ado, shout out to Amelia Watson, Coco Kiryu, Calliope Mori, Kazuna AI, Amano Pikami, Hikasi Tomishika, Jitomi Mano, Artemis of the Blue, Bao, Roboco, Neanners, Iron Mouse, Mocha, Aki Rosenthal, Hachama, Hani Makia, Kuzuha, Melissa Kenrenka, Belmond Banderas, Fuwa Minato, Kuroi Shiba, Gilzarin III, Kane, Korone Inagumi, Fubuki Shirakami, Kaira Takanashi, Muna Hishinova. We're not even 30% through this. Dola, Debbie Dibiru, Usadi Picora, Adya, Gura Gar, Risu Ayunda, Izu Kuzuryu, Silvervale, BSA Apricot, aka Fruit with 2 O's, Zentrea, Nareen, Juniper the Lunamoth, Yuna Nini, Project Melody, Hazard Hornet, Hime Hajime, Inuki Matoi, Kiba Iori, Kazami Mikan, Izumi Meguro, Rushia Uhura, Sora Tokino, Aqua Minato, Luna Himamori, Rika, Roberu Yokoku, Astel Lida, Shien Kageyama, Botan Shishiro, Watame Tsunomaki, Marine Hoshuo, Chika Yama, Subaki, Hime, Anya Pandaria, Nana Nanatsuki, Klaiya, Inanis Ninome, Yuni Luna, Joe Rikichi, Fumi, Noel Shirogane, Ibrahim, Taka Rajaman, Bonavir Paranaha, Vihan, Nor, Ioftin Irani, Izuru Kanade, Aruan Diesu, Aruran Diesu, Zea Cornelia. It's tough to get to the next line. It's like, where's the next line? What's it? Rajaman I've read before. Levi Elifa, Oga Aragami, Aziki, Sakura Miko, Matsuri Natsuriro, Ayami Nakiri, Okeyu Nekomata, Suse Hoshimachi, Lami Yukuhana, Nene Momosuzu, Kanata Amane, Polka Omaru, Flare, could be Flare, but Flare, Shiranui, Miyu Ukami, Shion Murasaki, Choko Yuzuki, Miyaba Hanasaki, Tema Kishido, Mel Yozora, Toa Tokoyami. I could have never dreamed there were this many VTubers. Lulu Suzuhara, not even close to being done. Yashiro Kizuku, not even close. Kokoru Amamiya, Chaika Hanabaka. Am I just reading a Wikipedia page?
Dude, what is happening?
Chaika Hanabata. Can you imagine if somebody just tuned in?
Oh my
Chaika
God.
Hanabataki, Kitakupo, Kai Mayuzumi, Toyo Kenmochi, Rina Yorumi, Yuni Usami, Lily Shirayuri, Ron Hinokuma, Natsumi Hashiba, Serotina, Mikey Nya, Ewika, Ryu Gui, Ririsia, Nayo Speed, Kamoa Hiru, Foxy Joel, Pinky Purin, Yukari, Uzuri Mia, Piki, Taiga, Sisi, Shizui, Jeffy Bed, Yuki Ringo, Vei, Mari, Chirili, Aragama, Argama, Yukai Chan, Leaflet Mitsua, Rosuri, Ueko, Kureji Ali, Anya Malfisa, Pavolia Rain, Yua Asagiri, Kani Kanizawa, Rio and Rei Omega, Mei Osani, Ichika Osanai, Mei Osanai, Ichika Osanai, Theory Arc, Hibiki Eo, Ikotsu, Yoruno Neon, Uta Mika, Kamino Miria, Mirai Akari, Kaguya Luna, Hinata Nekomiya, Sister Claire, Aoi Fuji, Mito Tsukino, Izumi Yuzihara, Rui Sejima, Miko Sekshiro, Inaba Haneru, Kazami Kuku, Taro, VT Taro, in parentheses for some reason, Harune, Mimika, Shui, Emiko Niwatori. Three eyes on the end of there. It's a fun one. Shui, Emiko Niwatori, Edgaro Niwatori, Erika Niwatori, Segi Arakita, Shime Yukino, Rina Laluna, CVNKA, Savunka, Nanami, Ryusonova, Utaku Suzuka, Ange Katrina, Himarari Honma, Kade, Kade, Kade. That's how I would say that in English, but isn't there like I recognize that Japanese, like Kade or Higuchi, Han Chio, Shin Yuya, Karu Aza, Riksha Dirienda, Makaino Ririmu, Reza Avaluna, Amicia Michela, Nara Haramung, Nari Yang, Kiru Shin, Comfy Rana, Tojiro Genzuki, Hanayomi Kamakiri, Lumi. Shout out.
What the hell, man?
Woo!
There's no way you watch so many VTubers.
Hey,
no way.
$10, well worth it.
$10.
Oh, boom!
Though.
That's it. It's last comment. We did it.
Oh my god, dude. Jones, that was impressive.
We did it.
I don't know how you'd pull that off.
Woo! It's funny because it reminds me of when you see special effects on a film, and it was clearly like a Chinese company, and it's just like all of these Chinese names, and then like Phil Dodson.
Yeah,
like, cool, good job, Phil. Like,
what was the Shui? That was the best name, dude. Shui.
Kicking it off from Sarah Imshog, aka Sarah Knight. Greetings, Brad and Jones. Happy holidays. Just one piece of art today. Let's get to it.
Let's do it.
Let me kick it off before I read the comment. Oh, XSplit. How you like to hide things from me. Bam!
Boom!
A promo image for my webcomic, Summer Days. And unlike last time I submitted promo material where my main characters were wearing Halloween costumes, this image is 100% canon. I hope everyone is staying safe out there. Wear a mask and wash your hands. Black Lives Matter. Merry Christmas and happy 2021. Much love and respect. Sarah Imshog, aka Sarah Knight. Sarah, this makes me so happy because you've submitted so much stuff for the showcase that like they're my friends. Like I haven't read the comic yet, but it's like, oh yeah, no, I definitely know these characters. Yeah, it's lovely to connect with all of them.
Yeah, nice.
Happy holidays, 1955. 1955. Just watched Back to the Future the other day. November 5th, 1955. It's pretty good special effects in that movie. They hold up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Chum Nguyen. Beep. Hi, Brad and Brandon. Here's the stuff I did this month. Instead of commenting on my own works, which I just do without too much thought put into them, I'd rather talk about other stuff. I have 3 games contending for GOTY. Since I've mentioned 2 others before, I want to talk now about the third one, Yakuza Like a Dragon. The gameplay didn't grab me at first, but as the story moved forward and I began unlocking summons, it started to feel good. Since you have party members this time around, it shows the strength of having more focus on them too, instead of a single protagonist. After playing it, a single performance is one of my favorites in gaming. How they delivered their emotion is bringing tears to my eyes. Also about to finish Persona 5 Royal, soon passing 150 hours, but the ride has been nice with added stuff, but overall it's still the same game. Still the same game I've already played. Love, respect, Terjuingi.
Nice.
So yeah, some of these are back to back.
Back to back.
Just love these people chilling. It's fun. Sometimes when he'll leave stuff, he's like, just a person.
Oh, cool.
So sometimes he's just, I just imagine him like drawing something and like he doesn't even know. He doesn't even know what he's about to draw.
Classic.
Love the bag though.
Yeah.
Is that bag canon? Would she step in something? What's going on? Or is that just like is that the wind?
Yeah.
And I think she's got a little background image because I love to do this. Beep boop 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 boop. The original art.
Cha-cha.
And I can do the same with this one too. Wait, no. Yeah. Bam, bam.
Nice.
So you did the color and then did the borders after. Bam, making it pop. And there we go.
Cool.
Thank you, Jim. Scott A. Ford. Hey, Brandon and Brad. I want to share this older Hollow Knight illustration that I did that is sick.
Okay. You'll see it. Ooh, that's
style.
very cool.
He's done it, Brad. He did one of Souls and one of Bloodborne. This is the same kind of thing again.
This is great.
Character in the middle, just surrounded by everything else in the game. It's a really cool, just great poster style. I love it. Great border, really fun.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Border on the edge. Probably one of my personal favorite illustrations I've made. Next, here's some pages from my in-progress comic hologram hunter. Let me click all these suckers so I can go through them. Yeah.
Cool.
You've seen this? AT-AT vibes.
Love AT-ATs.
I changed the robot design slightly on the first page, which I showed last month. I had a lot of fun working on these pages, especially trying out the blurred backgrounds and chromatic aberration in the close-up panels. This is just art so far, and I still need to add the word balloons and additional sound effects to each page. You can see updates to all my art and comics on my website, Instagram, and Twitter by searching Scott A. Ford, traditional spelling, 2 T's on Scott. And thank you all for all you do and for giving me this opportunity to share my work with the community. Love and respect, Scott, or S_001 in chat. So yeah.
Thanks, Scott.
Following it along, this poor little robot. I don't know. Are these guys enemies? No, they're with the robot, I think, right?
I don't know.
They're with him. They know what they're doing. It's Death Stranding vibes a little bit.
Yeah.
Like the sound effects. Ding. Adding the picture to the journal.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's the aberrations you were talking about in the different focus effects. That's cool. And then yeah, I remember that one from last week.
Nice.
Really neat.
Really neat.
Love it. Fun to get views on that stuff, but also fun to get updates on these things. All right. From Nick Gothic, hello Brandon, hello Brad. It's been exactly 9 months since I became a patron for Easy Allies, which I did quickly so I could have my last chance of contacting Kyle Bossman. I've challenged myself in making little drawings of the various allies that were guest starring in the community showcase, and I'm happy to say that my collection is complete. I've got Kyle, Huber, Brad, Damiani, Ben, Blood, Don, and Ian. I got them all, and my months-long project is now done. Thanks everyone, love and respect. I'm so glad it's over. Everyone is here.
I'm so glad it's over.
And absolutely no one is missing. I checked. That was a lot of hard work. Yep. Nothing left to say. Oh, what's this? Oh, wait a minute. What's this?
I don't know. Yeah, dude.
Some guy on a horse.
Oh, we all know who that is.
I bet he's no one important. Wait a minute. I think the image is getting a little clearer.
Wow.
Wait, is that the best you can do? Come on. Let's see some color.
Damn.
This kind of looks like Brandon Jones. I think I remember when I first heard him. This is around 2007, when I was 14 and still used dial-up internet. Getting anything to load was so dreadfully painful, but it was worth it for the excitement of the GT Top 10s, which I always binged, and always thought the silky smooth voice narrating them was exceedingly charismatic. I remember Top 10 most innovative games being my favorite. And then, I couldn't recall one of those. That was but the first thing to go after the GT was whatever we picked for all of those top 10s. All I know is they make Huber very angry.
Yes.
And then I saw the GT retrospectives. Gosh, I barely even heard of Final Fantasy IV before, but watching the Final Fantasy retrospective was absolutely breathtaking. Made me a believer. GT was really important to me because it was like my window to the world, in a sense. When you grew up in Serbia in the 90s, a conservative community torn by warfare and poverty, you really tend to want to look for any means of escape, any means of a different life. And I had nobody to talk to or relate to about my dreams and fantasies, which I felt at the time were about the only thing that made me feel real. I remember how I made my first tentative steps on the internet. I was very shy and scared, afraid to talk about actual real Americans with my then childish grasp of English, and yet just immensely curious. I have never heard of I have never even heard of Zelda or Metroid before. I loved watching video game sites, and for many years, Brandon Jones remained something of a constant in my life. I'd always go to GT when I wanted to get basic facts about any video game, and the amazing retrospectives they kept dishing out built a lot of trust in me. I slowly started socializing on internet forums. My English was getting better. Now it's gone full circle. I'm much older, sociable, prouder, and now Brandon's reading my letters. All I can say is, you're my hero, Brandon. Thanks for making this possible for me. Happy holidays, love and respect. Nick Gothic at Clown Boss.
Wow, nice. Damn, yeah, those retrospectives, man. Whew. Yeah, that Final Fantasy one, especially for me too at the time, that was real good. I love the Zelda one though with Damiani, like being like, "Oh, are you gonna redo this to correct it?"
One of the first conversations I ever had with Damiani. I want to bring, because I was like, "We're doing Metal Gear. Do you want to be?" He's like, "Oh yeah." Or I think I asked him, and he's like, "Let's do Metal Gear." And I'm like, "Oh, of course." He's like, "I'll write it. I'll write it. I'll capture all the footage." I'm like, "Okay,
yeah, great."
Sold. But he was like, at any time.
So I would do that Zelda one.
And retcon that.
Yeah, it's so awesome.
Boy. I did no checks on the timeline episode of that retrospective.
Sure.
I got the script and was like, sure, I'll read this.
Yeah, sure.
Sure. Nick, man, you're killing me with this.
Yeah.
Hands down, the thumbnail of this week's showcase, of course. Probably my new Twitter banner. And you saying, I remember when we first started GT, Brad, and we would check the stats, and you could see little dots of just where we were in the world, just where people are watching. Somebody in Antarctica is watching our video right now, or maybe using that, bouncing their signal through there. But it was really interesting seeing countries. I was like, I just had never thought that
it's awesome.
We would be reaching them. That was nuts. So that is an absolutely wonderful post and a beautiful piece of art. Interesting, and I love Rufus down there. Interesting, the cup was involved originally, but then he switched to the hat.
Sure, yeah, gotta have a hat.
And I just, I miss hiking, miss getting into the outdoors. Haven't done as much of that this year as I would have liked to. So, also slight Han Solo vibes, just a little bit.
All right, don't flatter yourself, Jones.
Got the holster. I haven't seen the drawing. I'm just saying the clothes he picked.
You wish, dude. Chat, you want to get on Jones' good side? Compare him to Harrison Ford in any way. Dr. Jones,
somebody in college compared me to Bruce Campbell, and I told him that's the best compliment I've ever received.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Wow, that's a very wonderful sentiment and a wonderful piece of art.
Yeah, great picture.
Screenshots coming at you. Dragon Hunter. Hey, Jones and Brad, here are some of my favorite screenshots I took. No context. Sorry. So we gotta figure out what's going on here, folks. Some of these are obvious, but what's that? Oh, there's Batman. Oh,
yeah, it looks like Batman with like a
probably
crazy skin.
Yeah, with the Batman Beyond skin. I think.
Yeah, he's got the red bat symbol on his chest.
Shucking a dude, love it.
Cool.
Of course. Look how. This is of the bunch. This is my fave. That one is.
It's cool.
So good. And that's the thing, Brad. I'm gonna get through Immortals. I'm gonna get through Valhalla. And then I gotta buy Doom Eternal and Hades. Those are two that those are two that I had originally not planned, but I really want to get done before Hades. But once the actual break starts, once I can get maybe 2 or 3 days in a row of not doing anything.
Tsushima?
This game right here.
Yeah.
Jumping back in.
Yep, more.
Love the red. Love the color manipulation. It's so cool. Or maybe that's just the way that
the flowers are that color in the game.
So cool. But just kind of taking out the saturation and everything else.
Yeah.
So good.
Great.
Yeah.
Very nice.
The sun coming through.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the old game. That's the the OG, that suit. Love it. Love the mohawk. It's good to get that from the side. That's so cool. Just grabbing the sun. That's so neat. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's crazy. I didn't know that does that. I didn't know there's a suit that changes the color. And I love when you freeze it. I love the flecks of snow, like are all little individual particles. Yeah. Oh, I didn't see him.
Yeah, it's tiny.
I didn't see him. I was just like, oh, you got the Avengers A, cool. But look at
it's for Huber.
Yeah, you framed that so well. That's so cool. So it's interesting. Actually, yeah, those were all. I did know what those are, but I think it might be we have Astro Bot has given us another view of we have one does not want to be named specifically, but there's some screenshots coming up and I'm curious to get takes from chat on what these games are. But first of all, from Austin Kruckmeyer with just 2 screenshots. But a lengthy post. Hello, allies. Today I would like to share a Unity project I made 2 weeks for my birthday party back in August. So technically this is more of a comment with just this in the background. Geo-parody. A customizable Jeopardy app that allows anyone to create and run a full 61-question episode of Jeopardy. Some background on why I made this. I'm a frequent con goer, and I love attending all the trivia panels and shows that are available at these cons. These shows focus mostly on geek media, and rarely does my near encyclopedic knowledge of geek media come in handy. It's not nearly as useful in game development, love to put that to the test, or in conversations as I hoped. Overall, watching and participating in these game shows is a lot of fun, and the people that run these events are extremely passionate in what they do, to the point some of them create their own own game show applications for these events. However, these applications are usually bare bones aesthetically, which is understandable because visuals are not their focus and are strictly for personal use. However, seeing how popular the game show format of Jeopardy is, I felt that there needs to be that there was a need to create a smooth and sharp customizable Jeopardy application for anyone to use. Also, I despised all the Jeopardy PowerPoints that many of my former teachers used, so that was motivation too. GeoParody is just my first full-fledged solo project in Unity, and I was surprised how well it turned out. It taught me what there is to love about Unity compared to other game engines, and it also taught me the trials and tribulations of UI creation. What I'm really proud of is how I matched what I have pictured in my mind's eye, which rarely ever happens, mostly due to scope or a lack of skill in specific disciplines, art, music. Hosting is its own adventure in itself. I'd like to think of myself as fairly charismatic, but I see why the late, great Alex Trebek was considered such a master of his craft of hosting. I've run about six sessions with friends, and I still have a lot to learn about the art of hosting. I still consider my latest release to be pre-release, as I've yet to implement many things, including a buzzer. I've only run the app with friends via screen share and used a third-party online buzzer. I lack any networking skill to implement my own online buzzer. Aside from the buzzer, I look forward to include more visual flair and making the experience more modular by letting users choose things like amount of players or categories and how long each timer lasts. I know you guys have your own signature game show, but my hope is one day one of the allies feels compelled to create their own session of GeoParody and it plays with the rest of the allies. Thanks for reading. Love and respect, Austin Kruckmeyer. And before we leave, Kaon follows exploits of 5 high school girls who all take part in this after-school club.
Oh, it's some music, isn't it? I think they play, if I'm thinking of the right thing.
Let's see if anybody in chat knows that. There you go.
They have like a band or something.
Yeah.
Like a rock band.
He gave us one question. Thank you, Tokyo Slim. Thank you, everybody. Re7. Asbo Sapruder with another journey into their Animal Crossing town. Here we go. Good afternoon, gentlemen. I hope you're doing well today. Life continues apace on the island of Poppleton. Let's take a look. It all started when I took my morning walk and came across the remains of a shipwreck. As I was helping Gulliver, my hand brushed against the mysterious blue stone, and I felt a spark. Let me load up all of these. Hold on a second. Yeah, I know. A mystery unfolds. The plot thickens. Okay. Oh, wait, no. I failed. There we go. No, don't kill Brad.
No!
I didn't think much of it until a few days later when I was working in the orchard and accidentally pulled up a tree. It seems I have developed super strength. However, I thought it wise not to tell anyone. This proved tricky when the island was suddenly attacked by a giant lizard. I quickly pulled together a disguise, and the Poppleton Protector was able to save the day. Later that day, I was visited by Zucker. He apologized for attaching a tracking device to my costume, but that he did so because he was amazed by what he saw and wanted to use his technological skills to help me. I offered to consider it, but I had to go. Isabel left a note on the bulletin board asking for the Poppleton Protector's help in a series of thefts around the island. Someone calling themselves the No Good Nick had already hit the museum, Nook's Cranny, and the bank. I love the idea of not knowing who it is. Mm-hmm. In Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
It could be anyone. Any one of these 10 people that lives here. The bank camera managed to catch a picture of the villain, but they didn't look like anyone I had seen before. I thought Zucker could use some of his fancy computer magic to ID the culprit, so I went to his house. This is just like Miles Morales. Unfortunately, someone had gotten there before me, and according to the calling card left behind, it was the No Good Nick himself. I was feeling guilty that I couldn't stop the kidnapping when I noticed that Zucker's computer had a map with a blinking dot. He had attached a tracker to himself, and according to the map, he was taken to Elmer's house. When I got there, the doors locked, but as I looked around, I noticed an oddly placed hose reel. I turned the handle and found a cave opening up.
Oh, shit.
I know. Opening up behind the waterfall. Dun, dun, dun. Inside, there were some of the treasures that had been stolen. I could hear Zucker trapped in a locker. However, they were all guarded by a giant robot. By the time I was able to defeat it, Elmer was long gone. He'll need to make the most of his last few days of freedom. The Poppleton Protector and the Silver Cub are on the case and ready to deliver justice wherever it is needed. The Silver Cub. Anyway, that was November. I'm sure December will be much calmer. Until then, Asbo Zapruder, a.k.a. Screaming Argonaut.
Nice. Cool story.
Woo! on the edge of my seat. Here we got some more screenshots, and these are the ones that I'm not 100% sure what games these are from. Yeah, let me load all of these up. I know this is so some of these were oh wait, Genshin. No, that's a lie. No, that's a lie. No, that's a lie. These are all from Genshin. It is the next one from Mr. Master Pants that are all random. But these are some wonderful screenshots that I will queue up all ahead of time. Hi guys, just wanted to share some Genshin Impact screenshots that I've taken while playing with some of the Easy community members: Red Sky, Servorn, NBK, Zurazaku, and Birth Crew. These are taken from the perspective of the character Ningguang, with the one with the white hair. Number 1, Bei agreed to take me to Mondstadt via her ship. Chi-Chi happened to be there, trying to pick up a shipment of cocoa goat milk, ? In Mondstadt, we met this gleeful child named Klee, an upcoming explosives specialist. She got along real well with Chi-Chi. Lisa met with me and showed me around town. Their architecture was astounding. As my day trip came to an end, she escorted me back to Bei's ship where we enjoyed the sunset together. I was tempted, strongly tempted to play this game, but I'm glad that I kept my distance. But on the way back, we discovered she had a rather lively stowaway. Dun, dun, dun. We decided to take care of her in Liyue until the next shipment went out. Bei had to take care of some pirate shit, so I asked Zhongli to help me keep an eye on Klee. The drama of these screenshots. We had sat down for a meal, and she was incredibly well behaved. Nothing went wrong at all.
Oh.
Bum, bum, bum. Thank you. Thank you to all the people that were a part of that as well. From the show. I love they're all just chilling. No big deal. No big deal. It's a raucous world. And finally from Master Pants. Again, lots of screenshots this month. So I'm guessing this is Forza probably, right? Because the custom decal?
Maybe.
Because you can customize that stuff, right? There's no, like...
Is there a Ubisoft game like this?
Game. No. Maybe, I don't know.
The Crew? Could you do that stuff in the Crew?
I wonder. Hi, Easy Allies. I have 9 more screenshots from 9 random games using the random game selection button on Xbox. This time captured on Xbox Series X. That's why I was curious if it was Forza, because... but yeah. It's chill. I mean, I think of, GTA Online. The first time I see this, but then wait, no. What's that? That seems like a Bloodworth joint. I'm trying to remember if he played something like that.
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
I wonder.
Maybe.
Yeah. This is the one that's killing me. Evil Within vibes, but I wonder if it's like, first person.
First person.
Like, I wonder if it's the new...
is it like Visage or something? I haven't played that yet, so I don't know.
Falconeer. Oh, I guessed it. Or maybe I wonder if that was a guess from Spectron. I wonder if this is the new Amnesia.
Oh, sure, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, love that. Just right in his face.
Is that Quantum Break?
Yeah, because that's Iceman.
Yeah. Yakuza. Right? Yeah. Super beer.
Yeah, I can almost tell by the pants, too. He's always got that awesome purple suit. This, I wonder if this is... What's the space game where you're jumping around? Didn't you play it and you thought it was okay? I remember you did a preview of this. It's not Outer Worlds, but...
I forgot what it's called. I was not a huge fan of it when I played it at the time. Apparently
Grounded. Never mind. It's grounded. Totally grounded. It's totally grounded.
I haven't played Grounded.
You're totally right. Layers of Fear 2 could have possibly been.
Oh, sure.
I mean, yeah.
Sound 03.
It's bread.
Yep.
COD?
That
like
interface
pattern
at the bottom looks...
is
is it like
crazy.
Haze or something? Crisis? Yeah, it's probably Crisis.
I definitely got an assault machine gun there. Syndicate, I wonder.
Oh,
Or Crisis. And then, I wonder if this is the same thing as Forza, and you just kind of messed around with the contrast there. Because it's definitely a car, and just random people in the background. But I wonder, Crisis 2 says Craftium.
Oh, okay.
And Craftium, apologies. I got your submission from Craftium, but the link didn't work. So I got your post, but
oh no.
Yeah. So maybe I can throw that in quickly if it's up there before we jump in. But before we do that, let's go back to the camp shot.
Okay.
Listen to RF Switch real quick. RF Switch, greeting Jones and Brad. Brad, you told me in a tweet that you were a fan of sci-fi, and sometimes you just have to learn not to answer a writer's innocuous random questions. It's fine though. Sometimes you just have to learn the hard way. Evil chuckle. The premise of today's story. Can I say evil chuckle, or do I have to?
Sure. Evil chuckle.
Milo's a big fan of the Haunted Mansion book. It's actually licensed from Disney. Mm-hmm. It goes through the song, and he's a big fan. Be Still My Beating Heart. He's like, more, again, sing it again. But there's one page that's just, and I was like, maybe this is too spooky for him. Loves it.
He's your son, after all.
The premise of today, the premise of today's story is using a character from the first draft of Themis the Cat Girl, but with a better origin and more interesting plot. And I do thank you, because it's not every day you get to bring your sentient, hulking mass of bubblegum back from the dead. Remember, Mr. Ellis, you brought this upon yourself. Love and respect, RF Switch.
I did? Okay.
P.S. Please forgive my voice if it sounds off. My bad luck from last month took a turn for the catastrophic. Also, sorry about random background noises. My new mic picks up a lot. And now, a world premiere excerpt from A Sticky Situation, written and performed by RF Switch.
Hey guys, Sam said with a grunt. Something behind the door was slamming onto it, trying to escape. Will help? Derek looked over to Buckets and Rocco, signaling for them to assist. The three muscular men pressed against the door with their full weight. Sam dropped the chains in an instant and added her full strength to the door as well. Another hard slam hit the metal door, almost knocking the four of them off balance, and Buckets stared at Sam with some alarm. "What the hell's going on, Sam?" the feline shouted. "A science experiment went wrong," Sam groaned, her body being knocked back as the being behind the door pounded into it again. "Figures," Derek snarled. "It's the acid incident all over again." Sam shot him a dirty look and was about to respond, but was interrupted by another slam against the door. As they pressed against it again, Rocco could smell something incredibly sweet on the other side. "What exactly were you working on?" the canine officer asked. "I was trying to see if there was an effect on bubblegum after everyone got powers," Sam said. "And you got your answer," Derek grunted. "No wonder you didn't want Liz here. She would have been terrified." "Yeah, I could never imagine her fear of bubblegum would be rational in this lifetime," the scientist grumbled. "How much gum did you use?" Buckets asked. "I had 10 samples," she said, feeling the heavy thud from another blow. "Apparently one of them wasn't quite as inanimate as I thought." "Sam, what did you do?" Derek asked, the panic setting into his voice. "Well," Sam sighed, "you know how some colonies of insects band together to fend off attackers?" "Yeah." "Okay, imagine that, but as a roughly 150-pound mass of gum." As her friends stared at her, they all looked at the door, suddenly realizing that it had become quiet for a minute. Too quiet. For the complete story, and to support my work, go to ko-fi.com/rfswitchart. Again, that's ko-fi.com/rfswitchart. Please, for the sake of everyone around you, do your part. Throw away your bubblegum. Otherwise, stuff like this is going to happen.
It's true. You find bubblegum in the trash. You can look for bubblegum. You can go into dumpsters and find bubblegum. Dude, Stay Puft vibes.
Yeah, totally.
How much gum did you use? How much gum are we talking about here? All right. Time to move on to music. Wee! From Adam Henschel. Hey, Brandon and Brad. After seeing the reveal for the Demon's Souls remake back in June, I finally started to make my way through From Software's catalog, and it's just been an absolute blast. For this month, I rearranged Gwyn's theme for guitar.
Oh.
And seeing as their two boss fights are so thematically intertwined, started things off with a little tribute to the Soul of Cinder theme from Dark Souls 3 as well. Thanks for the listen. I hope everyone has a fantastic December.
Interesting. Let's hear it.
album of that stuff.
Fantastic.
I want a Bloodborne soundtrack, but it's lullabies for Milo. You know, just so you can appreciate it.
Put on a
blast
Majula theme from Milo. It's very.
Okay. All right.
That was great.
Good.
Loved
good
it.
stuff. Yeah.
Great guitar too. Loved it.
From Kieran Little, hi Jones and Brad. So I already had a completely different track picked out, recorded and filmed for this month's showcase, but then I was one of the lucky ones and got my PS5. Now realizing that Sony had dropped the feel-good hit of the decade on us with Astro Playroom's GPU jingle, I knew I had to go back to the drawing board. If that game is a love letter to PlayStation, consider this video my love letter to that game. 10 out of 10. If anyone watching this has not gotten their PS5 yet and plans on playing the game, I urge you to mute your sound for the next few minutes, as I would never want to ruin the moment of discovering this song for yourself in the game. I honestly believe it's one of the greatest video game songs of all time. Sing along if you know the words. Kieran, aka Mr. Cone Man. P.S. I hope all 8 allies and the community have a safe and happy end to the year. Love and respect to all.
Just right. My shadows they please beneath the trees. But none of these things happen for free. Yeah, all that you see when bit by me. I synthesize and rise to rise to the things that I thought would keep for you. For you. Yes, I just slowly tap down and make these dances bright and sunlit skies for you. I do it for you. I'm your GPU. Never wondered why I can't you right. 'Cause you won't look all the choices I took. And all of my time deceiving and misleading you. I like to surprise with my virtual lies. I synthesize and rise to rise into your things that I fabricate for you. For you. Yes, I just slowly tap down and make these dances bright and sunlit skies for you. I do it for you. I'm your GPU.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And I'll do it for you.
Wow, great.
Yeah, really good. I loved having him sing.
Just great.
Just seeing the lips move.
Yeah.
The guy in the corner was so good.
That was
I will
fantastic.
say,
Yeah, wow.
and this is a conflict, Brad, that I have every month that did push the 3-minute limit to 4 minutes, but right when it crossed over the 3 minutes, right when he started that solo, and it's just
And you're like, yeah.
how the hell do you stop? I stopped a music track that went too long last month, and I felt more fire from chat than I've ever felt in my entire life. I thought I'd literally lost them all forever. So I've learned sometimes you just gotta let those play. But you know, out of respect to all of you.
Yeah, that was great.
Submitters.
Thank you.
Try to keep that under the time and word limit. It is a challenge, but damn, that's a good song. And I have not played Astro Playroom. I had not heard that song before. I think that was a wonderful first way to hear that. I don't think that's going to spoil that at all. I look forward to playing the game and getting to that point. And I will think of you when I do. Mason Victoria, hi Brandon and Brad. Today I share a short cover of a song I found in a short game called A Short Hike. I had the pleasure of getting to know both Adam, the developer, and Mark, the composer, over the past year, and I can't help but feel inspired every time I revisit this beautiful game. I wish you, the rest of the allies, and our community a wonderful holiday. This is on my backlog. It's pretty far, but this is definitely...
I've been wanting to
I love
get to
hiking,
this.
and you'd think I would love A Short Hike. Get that sucker on Switch. I wish you a wonderful holiday season and a brighter new year. Love and respect, Mason Victoria at Masonachu, Masonachu. Take it away, Mason. Good for the soul, man.
Yeah, that was
Good
great.
stuff. Good
Thank
stuff.
you,
Good
Mason.
stuff.
That was awesome.
Putting that game right back on my radar. Also, selfishly, blasting right past the 3-minute limit. But what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
These people, they got me. They got me in the palm of their hand. I'm trapped. Let's see if Kevin Gillet kept it under 3 minutes this month. No promises. Hello, allies. I've been lucky enough this month to be able to upgrade to the current gen with the PS5 and brand new TV to discover 4K HDR. The last few weeks have been a blast. Certainly not the least of the amazing things I've experienced is Astro's Playroom. I love this game, and I loved Astro Bot Rescue Mission before it. My submission this month comes from this last game. Hearing the amazing music from Playroom reminded me of the equally great soundtrack from Kenneth Young for Rescue Mission. Of my favorites is the Crystal Cave theme and Playroom style. I took it on a trip through gaming history all the way back to the 8-bit era. Have the best end of year possible. Be safe and be kind, everyone. Love and respect, Kevin Gillet.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin in chat says this was done on Famitracker for anybody
Cool, great.
checking this out after the fact.
That was excellent.
And I love not only, we got the hive mind going on between these two gentlemen for their submission this month, both from Astro, but I love that Kevin said he reached out to the developers of this game and heard back from them. So,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, it's nice to hear. Nice to have the synergy with all of our wonderful musicians in the Easy Allies community. Final musician of this month, Ben Fitter. Hey, Jones and Brad. November marked my first voyage into a series beloved by multiple allies, Yakuza.
Yeah.
I installed Yakuza 0 thanks to Game Pass, and I put about 50 hours in, but I still don't think I'm even halfway done with the story due to all the great minigames and side stories. Plenty of small complaints, but overall I'm loving it and look forward to playing Kiwami next. Anyways, I know the song is already a big meme, but after I heard the jazz version that plays in clubs and bars, I had to figure it out for myself. Enjoy, Ben F.
Yep. We know what's coming. Yep. Like Jones, whenever we do Easy Allies in concert again, this is the song you have to sing.
I gotta do this? I gotta sing this?
Yeah, you have to do this
I
song.
was gonna try to remember it. I do have a short list of ones that I hadn't done since. Is it in English?
No. Better start
Wonderful.
brushing up.
Yeah. Blood will help me out.
Yeah. Oh, it's English in 7? Okay, there you go.
Whew.
Good times. Damn, that was great.
Loving the conversation.
Yeah. That was so good.
All of you adding a class to the showcase.
Yeah.
That neither Brad nor myself or any ally, quite frankly, can bring.
True.
So good. And finally, wrapping it up with a bunch of fun videos. Kicking off with one thing that I can do, which is review a video game. From Happy Gaming, happy holidays, Brad and Brandon. As I foreshadowed last month, I have my newest review for you guys to check out and enjoy. This month is Crash Bandicoot 4. It is to date the largest review I've made, and it's the first time I've reviewed anything outside of a smaller title or indie game. I'm exhausted, but also very proud of how it turned out. Overall, I really enjoyed it as a lifelong Crash fan. It's a difficult game, though, and that difficulty has a lot to do with unpolished controls, not difficult level design. A lot of the mechanics can feel a little sloppy. The difficulty often comes more from that control on top of a camera that often doesn't allow for confident platforming. It all adds up to a somewhat frustrating experience. I still personally enjoyed it regardless, mostly because of the evident passion and love Toys for Bob brought to the game. The review had me looking back on an editorial Jones put together at one point about what he personally feels a final score represents. Without spoiling anything, as much as I enjoyed the game, I would find it tougher to recommend if people are not already invested in Crash or aren't especially into platformers after the issues I experienced. If anyone would like to check out the full review, as I'll need Brandon to cut it off at around 3 minutes, you heard it here. Feel free to check out my Patreon at patreon.com/happygaming. I do love to hear feedback from you both, as always. Next month, I'll likely have another review to show off, but I don't know yet what from my queue it will be. Until then, I wish everyone a wonderful holiday season. Brad, Jones, and chat, I love you all and wish you the very best. Brian from Happy Gaming.
Great name, Happy Gaming.
It's the best, yeah. Super jolly vibes. Brian's also done more than one meditation video for the showcase. So.
Oh. Cool.
Yeah, Brian and I are.
Yeah,
we're in sync.
Crash Bandicoot. At last, I, the great Neocortex, have you right where I want you. And now, the final blow!
Back in September of 1996, Naughty Dog released Crash Bandicoot on the original PlayStation as the industry's first 3D platformer. After the initial trilogy, though, Crash Bandicoot was passed around to different companies like Traveler's Tales and Radical Entertainment. Over time, the character saw a waning amount of success and recognition in the industry, unable to find footing as other comparable franchises evolved and changed in different ways. After more than a decade since Crash's previous entry, developer Toys for Bob, the same company responsible for bringing audiences the Spyro the Dragon remasters, is continuing the Crash franchise with a brand new game, as if nothing has happened since Naughty Dog's third entry in 1998. Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time is a love letter to old-school 3D platformer design in a lot of ways. However, as much as it's evident that the developers love Crash's past and want to pay the franchise tribute, a bit more work could have been done to tighten up what is here to make for a better feeling and flowing adventure on par with the first 3 games. Crash 4 begins after the conclusion of the third game. To escape his demise, Dr. Neocortex tears a rift in space-time, fleeing into a multiverse. Upon a successful getaway, he and his partner, Entropy, decide they'll conquer all of time and space. This leaves Crash, his sister Coco, and a new masked friend, Lanny Lowly, to venture through different time periods to stop Cortex once again. effectively fixing the fractured realities that have come to exist as a result of Cortex's wrongdoing. Over the course of the game, you'll go through lots of varied locations and eras and collect a handful of new masks. Each provides a unique and challenging ability that needs to be mastered to get past certain sections of specific levels. Whether it's making blocks appear and disappear, going upside down, spinning like a tornado, or slowing down time. All of these are an absolute joy to try out. Of all of the new mechanics in Crash 4, these masks all feel the most well-designed and are used just the right amount, so you're never tired of them. Throughout the majority of your time with Crash Bandicoot 4, you'll be playing either as Crash or Coco. These two characters play identically, so it's up to you to decide who you personally prefer to take into any given level. You'll also play as some familiar faces in the form of Dingodile, Tawna, and even Cortex himself. Tawna sports a grappling hook and wall jumping. Dingodile uses a vacuum to suck up boxes and shoot them back at enemies, and Cortex uses his ray gun to turn enemies into platforms to jump on. None of the characters are quite as much fun to play as the title characters. However, each serve to break up the pace and give you a new way to play. There are mechanical misgivings with each character, like how Tawna's grappling hook doesn't always lock onto the target it indicates, or how Dingodile's turning and aiming are heavily cumbersome, making it nearly impossible to know where you're aiming. But these characters and their levels don't come in often enough for them to be a hindrance on the overall enjoyment of the game itself, especially because the majority of these levels are optional. Additionally, finding VHS cassettes hidden in different levels unlocks flashback levels. These act as isolated puzzle rooms similar to stage bonus levels where you play as Crash. They're challenging and short, but always fun to play through. The new inverted stages, however, were less enjoyable. These
Tune in for more.
Cool.
Yeah, the he likes some criticism. The sound ups are a little quiet, just compared to your voice, especially when it started. Like the track, like you were a little bit louder than when that played. But that's it. That's a classic Blood note. Blood loves the audio notes.
Yeah, he does.
You get editing notes back from Blood. He gives you all the script notes, and then you put it in the edit, and then he starts doing all these editing notes, and it's like, hey, stay in your lane, buddy. Whatever. Eric Jackson did some juggling this morning on Keppa Jones. My editorial showed people how to juggle. And Eric Jackson is about to take it away. Hey, Brandon and Brad, hope you're doing well. This month has been some of the biggest personal trauma I've had to deal with. And while I know it pales in comparison to that of most people, it's definitely been something that's really kept me down quite a bit as I endeavor to move into a new apartment by myself for the first time ever, as well as adapt to the ever-changing landscape colored by things like police brutality and the Black Lives Matter movement. May we all strive to give voice to the voiceless so that tomorrow may see a brighter sun. This month is no voiceover, but instead all the juggling that I filmed this year that I posted to my Instagram. Some of this will be a little familiar. The full video is just over 4 minutes, so all that juicy cut content is available to view should anyone have the interest beyond where Jones cuts me short. Thanks for all you do, Brandon and Brad. Love all the love and respect. P.S. Brad, please bring back the full beard. You looked so freaking badass rocking that.
Oh, it's too itchy, man.
It is. It's very. Yeah, it's the thing that ultimately takes away the fun.
Damn.
Nah, he's out of control. So calm, you know.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Looks like he's watching TV or something.
I've got a feeling this is the night. The stars are aligned, trouble's all out of sight. In the flashing lights, we are born. We move to a higher plane where no one's been before.
Wow.
CG, I'm calling it. I'm calling it. Leave him wanting more. Leave him wanting more.
That was
Midair.
mesmerizing. Yeah.
Boom. Yeah, right.
Jeez.
There.
That was crazy.
Eric, I love that he moves around too. I love that they're different locations. Like there's one he was like clearly on vacation and like, was at a juggling convention, I'm assuming, and it's just like, oh, I'll just go down into the gym. I imagine some guy doing like chest press, like what? But Eric, I think you can take that one step further. I want to see him like at a wedding. Like at like in a theme park or something. Yeah. Let's get dangerous. You know what I mean? Let's get go some player maybe shouldn't be juggling. Take it to the edge. But thank you. And fun to get, especially at the end of the year, to get a recap of all that stuff. From Michelle Jackson. Hello, allies. This month, I'll be focusing on Perenel's battle animations. I'm still in the process of casting someone for Perenel's voice, so instead of full battle test, I thought I'd show some of the process of making battle animations. These are still very rough. Love and respect. I love her idle animation with the leg. That's a great touch. Nice. I like when she's injured. She takes a hit there. That's cool. Nice. And I love, love me some turn-based combat, but also just love animation in general. Really cool seeing all those images on top of each other. I love seeing like when like Disney documentaries and stuff like that, people doing pencil art and they'll like roll the see-through paper back and forth. From Stops. Happy Heyo there, allies, and Merry Decemberween. Last year, my cousin Heidi suggested my family white elephant gift exchange would be only homemade gifts. Being a musician with no tangible skills, I made a family epic, which included a song called Christmas Time. I threw together a quick music video to accompany it as my contribution to this month's showcase, but since I skipped out on my October submission, I think a bit more horror than I anticipated made its way into the visuals. Yes. So please enjoy this fresh, disturbing Christmas classic about routine, excessiveness, and bitter feelings toward my cousin Heidi. Enjoy Christmas Time.
Hold up. I can't see. Wait, it just came back.
Oh.
Maybe it might be just Discord messing up. Go try and play it. You disappeared for a bit, but it seems okay now.
Christmas time, it's Christmas time, it's Christmas time, it's Christmas time. Christmas time, it's Christmas time, it's Christmas time, it's Christmas
That's the Christmas vibes I want, man. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Stomps.
Very cool.
There's a great the snowman that's behind a gate in my new community when I take Sophie on a walk, and he's like, he has this weird, he kind of looks like he's smiling, but it's like an intense smile, and it's just funny that he's behind bars. Like you look in this house in like their courtyard, and the snowman's just like, help.
That's funny.
Someone's got to help that snowman. All right. David Cleland. Hey, Brad and Jones. I make a point to watch all of the stuff. That's why sometimes I'll accidentally read things I'm not supposed to. I did not want to watch this because I've seen the making of this slowly, bit by bit, as we've gone through. Brad, you're in for a treat.
Oh.
I'm so happy to see the final version of this because just based on the couple seconds that I did see, this is going to kick some ass. So, much later than I'd hoped, I finally finished my Mega Man animation. It's oddly apt since I believe Brad was on the showcase where I first showed the very early stages of the character model while he was just an awkward-looking head. Unfortunately, due to COVID and budget reasons, I ended up having to do the voice myself and then have the guy I hired do the sound take recordings of a fully grown adult Scotsman yelling into his phone and try to make it sound like an anime teen. Other than that, I'm really happy with it and would love to have it be seen by as many people to see it as possible. Shout out to those in chat who have said some really positive things when I've shown updates in the past. Love and respect, Dave Cleland. Oh man, I'm so pumped to see this whole thing.
Cool. That was sick. What robot master is he fighting?
I wonder.
Or is it Wily?
Because it's a minute? I'm playing it again.
Oh shit, alright. Roll it again.
Because it's so badass. Good stuff. I love the stars.
Mm-hmm.
David, I love the orange on the border that turns to white at the end, but I just love the light coming up from the ground. It's just a really fun border to have in the background. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, it's cool.
From Robert 7 Lee, happy Monday. Brad and Jones made a last-minute video which goes through my gaming experience in 2020. Made me realize this is the least number of games I've completed in a year. I blame Devil May Cry 5. Sorry for the poor editing. It is a massive hack job and would probably offend content creators. I was extremely nervous about submitting last month's video. I want to thank the community for their very kind comments, which made me feel at ease. Brandon's enthusiasm always helps too. I wish I had your energy. The music is definitely copyright license free, not making the same mistake as last month. Music is by Ben Sound from YouTube. I hope everyone enjoys a well-deserved break during the holidays. Love and respect, Robert Lee.
2018. Marauder, yep.
Relaxing VR.
Oh, Hell House.
I did, Brad. I appreciate that boss fight. At the time, I was screaming at the TV. I want to enjoy it more, but the story, which is less important, constantly hampers the gameplay experience. How meta?
I think the story is very important in that game.
I think the story is extremely. Yes. The visuals hurt my eyes. The goggles do nothing. The goggles?
Yeah, I knew that was reacting, man. Damn it.
Nice. We are so gonna get flagged for this. Good conclusion there. You're done. Boom, you're out. Yeah, I'm glad I waited to experience that on PS5. That's going to be a blast. And dude, what you talking about, man? That was, you could tell I very much enjoyed that video.
Yeah.
You can tell it's very different from a lot of the stuff other people are submitting as well. So loved it. Okay, I'm going to try this one more time, but I think you gave me the same link, Crafted. It wasn't the timestamp. Apologies if this brings up an ad or something. Oh, well, there we go. Yeah, okay. Hold on a second. Talk amongst yourselves. How you doing, Brad?
I'm good, man.
We're only 2.5 hours in.
I'm great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't complain.
No big whoop.
No biggie. I always just want to do Red Dead voices.
Little Windows sound for everybody.
Ronnie Jones. I don't know why. I'm always just like thinking of Red Dead.
Booze Man kills me every time when you do
It's just Booze Man, dude. I think how much Huber loves it helps a lot too. His laughter.
could play it straight from YouTube. I'm going to grab this file. Ooh, it's a 24-minute file. Oh, I should probably play it straight from YouTube. Ooh,
yeah, just play.
E. Okay. Where you at, YouTube? Miles is a big Kermit fan. He digs Kermit. I really enjoy Amanda trying to do Kermit. It's fun. But then Amanda has lots of voices that I can't do. Where are you at? That ain't that. That's chat.
Where are
hey,
you
chat,
at?
What's up? Look at yourself. Look at yourself, chat. Why can't... What if I make this its own separate window? Can you then see it? Work with me, XSplit.
If I platinum Bug Snacks? No, I didn't even finish Bug Snacks yet.
Oh, there we go. But damn. Quick and dirty. All right. Bam, there we go. Like nothing went wrong. Oh, wait. I got your comment over here. Hey, allies. A while ago, I submitted a short clip of a game called Assault Spy, a DMC-like indie game made by one person for the community queue when Huber was doing that at the end of his Huber syndromes, and mentioned that I was replaying the game as I was working on a review for it. The video below is not that review. I worked on my Assault Spy video for several months and on and off, and while I taught myself how to write and structure a script as well as how to video edit. It was a fine first attempt, but after creating one video, I instantly wanted to see how a second would turn out with everything I learned, so I got to working right away on a review analysis for a PSP game that never left Japan called Naruto no Kiseki, and what once took me nearly a year to achieve before only took about a month the second time around. Being able to create something like this has been incredibly satisfying, and I've set a goal for myself to create at least one video a month with a roadmap that'll take me up to around March. Please watch around 9:30 to 12:30, as this is the least rambly section, but also features a neat editing trick I'm proud of. I'll timestamp it anyway. Love and respect, Craftium, aka Timothy Lawrence. Let's jump to 9:30. Check it away. Oh, look at that.
Fix everything, while Signa goes lone wolf pursuing the masked swordsman. I've already talked about Naryuta's combat abilities, but from this point onwards, our protagonist does not fight by himself, as he works together with Noi to achieve what the two of them could not do separately. Noi is not directly controllable, but will always fly closely behind Naryuta, and as a fairy is proficient in magic. With various spells or arts, Noi can assist Naryuta with mostly long-range magic attacks. At first she will only have a very basic single projectile spell, but she can learn new spells by defeating mini-bosses within certain levels, which are larger, stronger versions of normal enemies, with a unique attack which becomes the spell that Noi learns once defeating them. By the end of the game, Noi will have 4 active spell slots that you can assign different arts to and switch between on the fly while they all recharge. The arts will also gain experience each time you use them, allowing you to level them up individually to make them stronger. The last aspect of Naruto no Kiseki's gameplay is the crafts that you get throughout the game. These are 4 abilities that both require Naruto and Noi to work together to perform, and are used for both combat and traversal in levels. These are unlocked after freeing the Warden of each continent, protectors of the land that have been sealed in cages by Zect, but can be freed after restoring the continent's weather. These abilities range from a grappling hand to swing from point to point, to a heavy attack combo for breaking blocks that stand in your way, to my personal favourite, the Speed Wheel. To balance these abilities, using them will drain a bar of stamina, which when empty, Noi will become tired and both crafts and arts will be unavailable until she recovers. The crafts in general are quite fun to use and are well integrated into the levels and for boss fight gimmicks. Speaking of levels and bosses, each continent has its own map screen that holds 3 stages that lead into a longer temple/dungeon stage that is segmented into 2 separate parts, which then finally caps off with a boss battle. All of that is pretty by the numbers, however there's a bit more to it than that. You see, Each time you acquire a Master Gear and install it into the astrolabe, you fix the continent's environment by restoring it to its original season. This means that with the weather machine you can change the aesthetic of levels as well as the content within them, resulting in levels being remixed with different enemies and puzzles as well as sporting a different layout. What's good is while you'll go through the same levels again, the different seasons will make you play through them in very different ways. For example, when you first visit the 4th continent in autumn, the place is filled with lava due to active volcanoes, and there's a section where you have to jump across metal platforms to avoid sinking into a lava pit. However, if you come back to this level in summer, the level's aesthetic has changed to a desert theme, and this time, instead of traversing over the pit, you purposely jump down into it, falling down into an underground ruin and an entire new part of the level opens up. The temple stages have a much longer but more linear layout and are not affected by the season changes.
Cool. Yeah, I love that. I love that kind of stuff.
Good stuff.
Finally, from Chris Park, hi, Double B's. Just throwing out my top battle themes of 2020 that are not Final Fantasy VII, Brad.
Okay, let's hear it.
Yeah. Let's hear it. Our final submission. Good gym music, a good battle theme. Get on the treadmill. Whoa, Trails.
Yeah.
Prior notice, God for you. We wanna make this party you don't wanna skip. Gonna be a show to remember. Take over, start the boogie down.
Yeah.
How a lot of those are threatening, Brad, and that one's very much like, it's no big deal.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
you're doing abilities. There's no threat.
Yeah. Playful.
Yeah. Boom, ladies and gents, that has been the Easy Allies Community Showcase.
Oh.
Woo! Thank you for all your submissions, everybody. Again, this is our $10 and above tier. I went back to get that last post, and so I can do this right now. I'm going to now make this public. So if you would like to go and check out any of those submissions, again, we talked about a lot of things that were only available, had that 3-minute cutoff. Now I'm going to make that boom, make it public so everybody can see. It's the community showcase for December 2020. So you go to patreon.com/easyallies. You'll see a bunch of tabs on the top for A Cup of Jones, for our exclusive shows and stuff. First of all, if you're not a patron, go check it out. Give it a thought. But if you see Community Showcase, you click on that, you'll not only see December, you'll see all of the showcases in the past. If you want to go see other stuff from our amazing musicians, if you want to see the other development updates from Michelle Jackson, if you want to see Eric Jackson do, juggling for extended periods of time, or you want to check out more reviews from Happy Gaming, or a lot of this stuff makes really good iPhone wallpapers or desktop wallpapers. If you want to go check out the full high-res versions of some of the wonderful art that we got, you can do that. Again, patreon.com/easyallies. Look for Community Showcase. We survive. We handle this Easy Allies thing because of our Patreon, so we are extremely grateful to all of the people. Especially today, it is a fun time to celebrate all the people at the Community Showcase tier and everybody who watched it live. And of course, Mr. Brad Ellis.
Oh, thank you.
Around.
My pleasure.
I'm still invisible, right? You can't see me, right?
Nope, that's okay.
So
I can hear you.
All of the obscene hand gestures and the notes that I handed off just to chat.
It's all good.
Almost perfect doing it the new way. A bit higher quality on your beautiful face there, which I think is well worth it. But maybe we'll try to fix those visual issues. Lots of tabs open. Lots of work putting the showcase together, but it is so worth it because all of you really put together a lot of amazing stuff. And I look forward to 2021, the last showcase of 2020. Looking forward to another year of this Patreon and wonderful submissions on the Community Showcase. So we will see you later on. We got more streams coming up. I think we got stream tonight from
Dawn and Ian.
Yeah, they're playing Arcade Simulator or something.
Oh,
yeah. It's like you can operate your own arcade. How perfect is that to watch?
Yeah.
Handle that. So stick around if you want to catch more stuff from us on Twitch. We'll be doing a group stream tomorrow night. You're doing that, the weird cat dog game, right?
Yep.
And you can check us out at youtube.com/easyallies and Easy Allies Plays if you want to see the archives of all of our Twitch stuff. That's enough from me. Thanks again, Brad. Thank you all for watching. Take care of yourself. Bye.
Bye.